one of the keys to this game is like when you have access to like a 4 and you have like a 3 on your coming up and you want to take that good shot, you want to always hit the 4 with a card behind it, because if you mess up and hit a 4 without a card behind it, you pretty much just like give yourself a dead end.
Wings, it's time to start the show.
I thought we were already on the show.
I'm telling you, stop playing the game. No more fairway solitaire. You're addicted.
Huh?
It's time to begin. Kyle, get him on course.
Kyle,
stop playing. Come on.
Is Kyle dead? Is this the Kyle dead show?
Welcome to Painkiller Already 146, brought to you by Fairway Solitaire. Apparently addicting.
Perfect.
see, no, perfect my ass. You ain't perfect. You on the demo.
Just because you can't rock perfects and
Yeah, don't hate on me. Don't bring down my skills because you're having issues, Wings. Get out of here with that.
Just because you suck at Fairway Solitaire.
Mm-hmm.
I'm widely recognized as one of the best Fairway Solitaire players in North America.
Until you get out of the demo. And then bad things happen. But it's cool. You can play the demo over and over again and kick ass. Feel good about yourself.
All right, there we go. I fixed my microphone.
There, Kyle's back.
Yeah, that was weird. No, it broke right at the beginning of the show.
Perfect. Welcome to Painkiller Already 146, brought to you by Fairway Solitaire.
My new favorite game on my iPhone.
Absolutely, baby. Check it out. It's free to download, free to play.
Also available on Android, I believe.
Is it? I'm not
Yes.
sure.
I'm playing it, I believe, on Android.
Show me.
This is a Samsung.
I want to see the game.
What?
Take the back plate off.
That's it.
Damn, there's my 7 under par. Wings. Why you got to be
Let
hating?
me see that 7 under par.
It's so what? It's the demo. Shut up. Don't make me.
I went 9 under par on the demo. I got -3 on all 3 rounds. Come on, don't bring that game to me without having an actual game.
Yeah.
I don't know, Wings. Just because you're struggling at the game doesn't mean Lefty and I are struggling at the game.
I'm the furthest guy in here.
We're just better at Fairway Solitaire than you. You're going to have to accept that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Topics for this week. We had a bunch of good topics right before the show started. What do you guys want to talk about?
Let's talk about World War III.
Oh,
Yeah, we could. Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead,
This
Kyle.
is
Kick
great.
it off.
Ah, man, this thing has been great. I love when stuff like this is going on in the news.
Okay.
It is so entertaining to watch what's going to happen. Obama can't be right now. He has put himself in a position where they're gonna hate him no matter what he does. If he doesn't,
because he's black.
no, not at all. If he doesn't attack, then he looks weak now. But if he does attack, he looks like a psychopath. He looks like he's walking down George Bush's footsteps. He can't win. And it's incredible to me that he has put himself in this position because it was such a blunder to do this, to jump out there and all of a sudden no one is with you. Like Canada's not with you. I mean, even Britain was with George Bush. So was Canada, I think. Neither one of them are. The only person I see out there who's like, yeah, let's get him, is like France. All of a sudden, but they don't want to do it. They're like, America, go fuck these guys. You know, they don't want to do it. They want to send us in to do it. But they're really pissed off that this guy has used chemical weapons, supposedly.
We're talking about Syria, of course.
Yes. Syria.
Obama's next move from a political standpoint is obvious to me.
Nuclear strike?
No.
You get Mitt Romney to do it.
This guy needs a new story, right? All he's got to do is cheat on Michelle, and no one will be talking about Syria anymore.
So this is like the reverse of Clinton and the...
Yeah, right? Clinton, he was with Monica, so then he started bombing Al-Qaeda, right? They were all like... He's sending... What did they send? Cruise missiles? Or
yeah, they started sending... Was it Chechnya? Or where
I think he was bombing Chechnya with the B-2s.
Yeah, something happened. It was basically... Because back in the day...
Slobodan Milosevic.
Yeah, that was right after the movie Wag the Dog came out.
It was Al-Qaeda that he was bombing.
He shot at Al-Qaeda with cruise missiles, but I think right at the time of the scandal, he actually started there was a conflict in
All right, I remember him hitting Al-Qaeda with cruise missiles, and unlike you guys, I wasn't 3.5 years old at the time, so I'm going with
fair enough.
with me. And I remember that there was a senator who came on and said, Bill Clinton just shot a couple camels in the butt with cruise missiles. just to change the topic away from Monica Lewinsky. That was like that's what they were saying. The senator said it, and it made a lot of press. This is the opposite situation. Obama needs to find his own Monica Lewinsky so that he can change the topic away from Syria.
Obama needs to bang Oprah.
If he did that, Syria would not be news anymore.
No one would give a fuck.
Nobody would care at all.
Stedman would be pissed, though.
Oh,
Who
shit.
the hell is Stedman? How did he get that role?
Stedman is like her boy toy, and he's her sugar mama.
That's a good job to have, right? Like
Oprah's
wouldn't you
boy
love to have Oprah as your sugar mama?
Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah, right?
Lay it down.
She gives out cars to her audience. What do you get if you're plowing her?
Well, you get that nice sensation of her arm fat clapping.
You get a jet. You get a jet. You get a jet. I like Oprah.
It goes back to this. Like you asked me 3 or 4 Painkiller days ago, would I take it up the butt to be if I was guaranteed endless money?
And your answer was?
Oprah's a step up from that. I don't have to take it up the butt. She does, and I still get endless money.
That's what you think.
Yeah, how do you know Oprah likes it in the back door? Maybe she likes to strap one on and go to town.
Hey. As long as I got an Escalade and 7 cars.
Winks said he would drive an Escalade with a dildo seat in it.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said he would have a contraption from South Park for an Escalade. That could be like the starting key, right? Like a little pressure plate on top of the dildo. He'll sit down on it and be good to go.
Oh, that's terrible. So what do you guys think? What should we do? This guy's over there using chemical weapons against people in his country?
Is nothing an option?
Yes, nothing's an option.
Nothing is an option.
Absolutely.
Well,
so
we should do that.
I'm going to try and recap this Syria thing for people that don't follow the news. And keep in mind, if you want accurate information, Painkiller already is not the place for you.
But this is the place for stats.
Yeah, our stats are awesome.
Stats are awesome.
Not
Facts,
accurate, but
factual.
absolutely awesome. Yeah. So, and Lefty, and you guys tell me if I get any of this wrong. So, let's see. In Syria, there was chemical bombing. We're not exactly sure where the chemical bombings came from. We don't like... No, let's see. The guy who runs Syria, what is his ethnic minority?
Oh.
He is a
Awani or something?
Yeah, he's an I don't know the exact pronunciation, but he's a subsect, I believe, of Sunni Islam, which is it's a more centrist, non-radical branch subsect of Sunni Islam, or one of those subsects of Islam.
He's actually not what most people would consider to be a terrible leader. From what I've read, I don't know, I don't live there. But, he's not like this radical Muslim, crazy, take us back to the 1500s kind of guy. On the other hand, some of the political reform he promised, he wasn't able to get done either. So, the people don't love him, although he's not like a terrible totalitarian, he's not what we painted Saddam Hussein to be right before we got there. So now there's these rebels overthrowing this guy. And as soon as there's trouble in the Middle East... Not only are the rebels who could perhaps be kind-hearted and looking for a better country, but now there's like Al-Qaeda and a bunch of people who just want to knock down the government in hopes that after it's knocked down, they can fill that void, and suddenly they'll have a theocratic, whatever. We'll take them right back to burqas and things will be awesome. So, you've got total turmoil in Syria right now with people who don't necessarily agree on what they want at the end, partnering up to take down the government because hoping that after, that's just stage 1. Stage 2, they'll start battling each other and they'll hope to be the people that end up in power. And it's also noteworthy that the people who are overthrowing the government are also killing just about anyone that is also part of, what's the guy's name? Al-Assad?
Yes.
And he's in this ethnic minority group, which I've forgotten the name of, and they're killing anybody else that is in the same ethnic minority group as he is, implying that the rebels are not the, kind-hearted, great people that you would want to overthrow the government. And that's it. So basically, you've got a group of rebels that might be pretty bad, some Al-Qaeda guys, which we're no fans of, and a government who we're also not huge fans of because they didn't deliver the political reforms that they're looking for, trying to hold on to power. And the thing, big mess. Did I miss anything? Did I do okay?
Yeah, mostly, but Lefty has already agreed that he would do that video for Al-Qaeda, so I don't know if we can bunch him in with that.
We don't want to knock Al-Qaeda, their potential sponsors.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think he got that pretty accurate. Obama has had a thing for this guy for a long time, though. Like 2 years ago, he made a statement, something about this guy's got to go, or something along those lines.
I don't get the hate for everybody. I don't know. To me, I'd really rather focus on America's problems. I don't think America does good for the world when we drop bombs everywhere we don't like.
Yeah, I think we need to send a lot of cameras over there. I want to see what's going on. I bet there's some cool shit happening over there. I bet there's like all kinds of explosions and tanks and stuff, and there's just some really good footage to be had over there right now. You know, there's some Saving Private Ryan stuff happening today over in Syria, and somebody needs to be recording it.
Can I put a caveat out there?
Oh yeah.
Okay, all right. This is Wikipedia stats. So
stats.
Don't get thing. This is just conspiracy theory, but the exporting of goods mainly from Syria is crude oil, minerals, and petroleum products. That is their big three. Mm-hmm. They usually make around $12.6 billion a year off of those three products, but they import $13.8 billion. This leads Jordy to think that they're not a very prosperous country because they're buying more than they're sending out.
Now, maybe they have the resources to be a prosperous country.
Maybe they have resources to be easily taken over and dethroned, and U.S. controls the oil like they did in Iraq.
Exxon ran that country. That's probably the thought process.
Mm-hmm. I mean, but is that not a good reason to invade Syria and just use the chemical strike as like a linchpin or a lever to get the military troops into the country?
But that could totally destabilize the region once you do that. Once you create that power vacuum, and the thing that Obama and the U.S. government just in general is handcuffed by is that originally they denied sending armaments to the rebels in Syria because the rebels were crying out to the U.S. saying, give us weapons. We don't want troops. We don't want airstrikes. Just supply us to overthrow this guy that you don't like and we don't like him. So just arm us so we can go. And the government said no. The U.S. said no. And that brought in Al-Qaeda to the fold, which made a previously secular rebellion into that infused radical religious beliefs and made it this radical religious thing that it's kind of morphed into. And so now the U.S. is in a position that if they strike out against al-Assad, they are tacitly fighting alongside Al-Qaeda, despite being engaged with Al-Qaeda operatives in Afghanistan. And can you really tacitly confirm that? And then if you send troops, well, nobody wants the troops there. That'll be awful because they'll be fighting along, again, Al-Qaeda guys that hate them, and in Syria, where a place where they're not liked in general. You can give armaments or arms, but now you will be arming Al-Qaeda by way of these Syrian rebels. And if you just throw in missile strikes, well, that's not really going to do much, because you're attacking a government that's already in power with missile strikes. Missile strikes aren't going to do much, on top of us, as we've already seen, not being as surgical with those missile strikes as the government probably should be.
I just don't understand them.
I think that what they were suggesting, though, is shooting the missiles at the helicopters and planes so he couldn't deliver more chemical agents.
I just don't see why invading them is a good tactic. Because look at this. Let's look at this. How many people died in that chemical strike? I think it's like 1,400, something along that ballpark.
Yeah, nobody wants to invade though. Nobody.
That's a lot. That's a lot of people on a small scale.
I didn't realize the number was 1,400. That's hardcore.
That's a lot of people on a small scale.
These are Painkiller already stats.
These are. I got it pulled up right here.
Okay.
1,429 people killed in the chemical attack.
Confirmed.
And the classified Iraqi war logs, this is where I'm going back. When the U.S. military went into Iraq and took it over, we killed 109,032 people during January 2004 to December of 2009. 66,000 of those were civilian deaths from military strikes and things of that nature. If we went into Syria, we would kill more people than that chemical strike did. So why are we going to go into Syria?
We're not. Nobody wants to invade. Nobody's even discussed it.
Then why is Obama going to look weak when he says we're not going to invade? It's dumb.
We're not talking about invasion. We're talking about missile strikes and bombings.
That's dumb, too. That's just going to kill more people than the chem strike killed.
I think what they wanted to do, though, is what they were discussing was striking against the targets related to the chemical weapons. Like
you don't think we're striking against targets in Iraq that were like military classified targets, like oil depots or ammo caches, and still over half of the deaths were civilian?
Nah, they never showed anything had to do with oil. We were protecting that stuff. We were literally sending teams to protect that stuff from being sabotaged.
Yeah, but we're about to go into another country whose main export is oil, and like it just lends itself to be. We're going to go into the country. We're going to create another huge embassy. We're going to put millions upon millions of dollars back into the defense program. They're going to raise taxes because they push the war effort.
I think you're getting carried away.
Taxes and go into debt.
I think you're getting carried away here. Nobody is talking about invading this country. No one at all. They're talking
Nobody right now is talking about it. But look at the track record.
No, I think this is different.
Kyle.
No, this is different. We have done this shit before where we shoot the missiles, and it makes for good TV, all right? We shoot do you know what a Tomahawk cruise missile looks like coming off the side of a fucking battleship?
I do know what it looks like.
Awesome.
I lived
haven't seen that
Clinton
in a while.
And George W. Bush. I know exactly what Tomahawk cruise missile looks like.
Look, I say we launch about 12 to 150 of those bad boys, and, you know, we pick a few targets and we see what happens. Just go ahead and launch them. And, you know, the thing about this collateral damage you're talking about, you've already pointed out. Both sides suck. If we miss the
collateral damage is fine because we probably killed a bad guy anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Over there.
Wait, I think one of them was a U.S. citizen. Who cares?
Yeah,
what
the
was
U.S. citizens over there are the bad ones.
The U.S. citizens over there are most likely the bad ones. Look, I'm just saying, if you're a U.S. citizen and for some reason you are on the battlefront in Syria, you're probably a bad guy. What are you doing there? Any U.S. citizen with half a brain is not on a battlefront in Syria who is not, you know, a journalist.
What is a battlefront?
What if it's a missionary person that just can't get out of country because of border lockdown?
Yeah, a battlefront is where, you know.
It's where the things are going boom. If something went boom on you, you are by definition on the battlefront.
It's the front lines.
Well, I was. If it goes boom on me, I'm probably dead. So I'm no longer there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's perfectly good reason.
Look, we got plenty of those. Look, we got plenty of those missiles, and I bet with those missiles, it's one of those things where, like, once they load them into the tubes, if they go out and, you know, spend 6 months at sea and they come back home and those same missiles are in the tubes, they just throw them away or something. Like, they're going to scrap these missiles anyway. Just shoot them. Shoot them. Shoot those fucking missiles. I paid for one of those missiles in its entirety last year. I'm paying for another one this year. If I see 2 missiles come off that boat, I know I paid for both of them, and I have high hopes.
Yeah. You know what? Since I paid for that missile, can we do it in a field while I set up a slow-mo camera? Let's get some YouTube money out of this shit.
Let's test this thing at my house.
What do you want to save up for that third missile, huh?
I would rather... No, God, I don't want there to be a third missile. Fuck, I hate taxes. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do. As soon as the first 2 missiles off that boat, if we strike Syria, if you guys see on CNN one night that, you know, U.S. missile strikes against Syrian military targets in the southwest region of the country, and you see that video of, like, cruise missiles coming off the side of a boat or maybe out of a submarine. Maybe my missiles are in a submarine. I don't know. And the first 2 missiles you see, just know, those are FPS Kyle's missiles.
Man, Tomahawk cruise missiles are the realness. I'm just looking at them on Wikipedia. They weigh one of them weighs about 3,000 pounds. With the booster, they're 20 feet long and 20 inches in diameter. They got a 1,000-pound warhead. $1.45 million in 2011 dollars.
Oh no!
How much are they?
That's
They're a million?
that's way too much.
Yeah,
That's way too
1.45.
much.
The
Oh,
AGM
no.
109. These are
Last
stats
year.
people from Wikipedia.
Oh, no.
$1.45 million.
I did not pay $1 million in
Oh
taxes.
no, I didn't either.
Maybe
I thought
PKA
it-
bought a missile.
No, I
Right.
thought it was.
It would take us 3 whole sponsorships to buy one of these missiles.
Speaking of which, Fairway Solitaire is a free game
Yeah, I
available
hope
on
you guys are
iPhone.
playing while you watch
iPad.
the show. Fairway Solitaire, best goddamn game.
It's
on
free.
Post your score. Post your score.
Post your score.
It's
Guarantee
the best
you
price
can't beat
there
me.
is. Free.
If you can beat my score of negative or 9 under par on the demo, then you're boss. But
It's
you
like
can't.
solitaire.
I got a
with
real
golf.
challenge to you. I actually went 3 under on the first legitimate course. Beat that.
Give me.
I'm gonna struggle because I'm like 5 over to start with.
I don't know how to get to it.
Wings, did you trim your beard again?
I did.
I thought you were gonna go Gimli on it.
I am going Gimli, but I don't want it. I'm not going. I don't want it growing out here because into my ears and stuff.
But the chin seems trimmed.
No, that's not trimmed.
No? Oh, maybe you're. I think you just need to comb it during the show.
Yeah, you need to
Yeah,
pick
more
that shit.
combing,
Get a pick
more
on
combing.
Yes.
I want you to do some like super southern like thing, like put mayonnaise in it or something,
That's
like
a
some
southern
sort
thing?
of, I don't know, some sort of food product. That like I see that a lot, like some lard. Put some lard in there. I want you to style
Oh,
it
there
with some
it is.
sort
Like
of.
I want to eventually get it to the point where it's,
Mm.
I can just put my beads in.
What, you're gonna put You're gonna braid your beard?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Duh.
I like that.
Yeah, that's what all the kids are doing.
I like
Grow a
where.
mustache out to the point where you can like twirl it and come out the sides.
I suck at mustaches.
I love that he grows that mighty chin beard, but no mustache.
You actually consider this mighty at this point?
It's a pretty mighty chin
Yeah,
beard.
Wings,
you got there. That's
you qualify. The chin section of your beard is legit, and the cheeks would be too. Like I know you call it patchy, but at some point the patches fill in.
Yeah, I keep shaving that off. Eventually, it would fill in and just fill up here.
Yeah,
But like,
you have a perfectly respectable
I'm
beard.
single again, baby. I got to go back to the dating game. I got to look fresh.
So the Gimli beard is your tactic on this?
No. The tactic is to keep it trimmed up and neat.
Okay.
All right.
And smelling nice.
Smelling nice.
Wings does smell nice. I think I've mentioned that in like half a dozen videos now.
We all do, and I think it's almost insulting that we mention it so much. Like we don't expect him to smell nice. like I smell nice too.
Smell like sweat and shit.
I smell like a normal person. Like sometimes my deodorant has a nice like cool powder scent or something to it. But by and large, I'm odor free. Wings, on the other hand, is delightful.
Yeah, I told my girlfriend this the other day. I'm like, Wings of Redemption. When you were next to him, he smells nice. I'm like, you smell a few things. You smell some deodorant. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's Old Spice. Maybe it's
Old Spice Defense.
Yeah, it's something nice. You smell some kind of a body spray. It's keeping him fresh. You smell some kind of cologne maybe under that, and it's a very manly like smell. It's like your
what were you rocking?
it's
at
like
the
your hair-
Bears bash that made you smell so delightful.
I only use one cologne. I use what you call Polo Explorer.
Polo Explorer.
Mm-hmm.
I might copy the Wings of Redemption scent.
I use
My
Polo
girl-
Explorer.
my-
I use I like to use the Sweat Defense.
We're talking
Old
about Wings
Spice.
and toiletries.
Yes, no, but this is good.
And like
I'm telling you,
I
this
take
is
a bath.
quality shit.
I take
Yeah,
a bath
yeah.
with I take a bath with Phoenix Axe body wash.
Ooh.
So Phoenix Ash body wash.
So
Axe-
Wings has a
Excellent.
very powerful manly smell. It's like a lot of it's like a combination of a lot of products, and I'm not. It's not a bad smell. You're probably thinking that it's like overpowering or like
No,
smells
no.
like a perfume store or something. It's just
I walk into it.
smells like your uncle. Your like hairy uncle who wore like a wife beater and a gold chain, like that guy with the hairy chest. He
does
smells.
not. He smells.
No,
like
but-
Brian Gumble probably smells.
No, I smell like Old Spice.
I don't think
and,
this is good. I don't think this is good. PKA, you're making me blush.
This is great. I told my girlfriend all this, and she's like, "I like that. I like when a man smells manly." And I'm like, "Yeah."
I imagine if I sat next to Bryant Gumbel, I'd say, "This is a nice smelling man." And Wings of Redemption has the same thing cooking. You just some
Bryant
sort of Old
Gumbel.
Spice Axe thing, Polo Explorer, and you're like, "This is a man who knows a thing or two about hygiene."
This guy uses fabric softener. I can smell
Well,
it.
I smell a little different now because I do use Pantene Pro V conditioner in my beard now.
Keeping those. That's right, lady. He's keeping those chin whiskers nice and soft. Give you a little tickle down there.
Stop it! I'm trying to play Fairway Solitaire.
I actually haven't had like a steady girlfriend with my beard this big yet, so I don't know what it will do to.
She's in for
It's gonna.
Oh, that's an instant panty dropper.
Wild.
That's a panty dropper.
Some sort of joyous tickle experience.
So you said panty dropper. That's so. There's a kid that drives a Mustang in my area, and literally on the side of this Mustang in chrome letters it says panty dropper.
You live in a high class place.
And he's got a girlfriend. That's the best part. And she's in the car with him. And I'm like, if I were her, you couldn't drag me into that vehicle.
Dude, I like it when girls are not ashamed. Like, I went off-roading with a guy, and you know the ski manufacturer Head, Head?
Yeah.
Anyway, if you're a snow skier, then you probably have heard of Head. And they have this t-shirt line that says, "I love Head." And this guy used to wear it off-roading, and he and his girlfriend would drive around together. And I thought it was so cool. Like, she's like, "Yeah, what'd you think, no?" And, I don't know. There was just a little bit of a lack of shame there that I thought that made her...
Yeah, what you don't know is that morning she was like, "Seriously, Mike? You're going to wear that fucking shirt? Now everybody's going to know I suck your dick."
Hey, there's nothing wrong with a girl that gives head, There's nothing wrong with a girl that doesn't give head, though.
That's what I wanted to get to. I like this segue. Wings, I saw you on Twitter earlier. You were having some issues.
I was having some issues. I seen that article. I might be a little bit behind where a girl gave head at an Eminem concert to a couple guys. I think it was two different guys, and she ended up killing herself. And people were bashing her on the internet because she sucked dick. And I'm like, this is not something you bash a female for. Why do you bash somebody for giving head? This is a glorious thing. Dude, you have a woman on your knees worshiping you and your unit.
Wait.
Teenage version of Woody. Hold on a second. Teenage version of me went on a campaign to end slut shaming. I was like, I don't even want to use the word slut. That's terrible. It discourages great behavior. We need to call them happy or joyous or friendly or something like that, but not slut. I love sluts. All girls that I know should be sluts. That was the teenage version of me. It was like, dude, we need to just encourage this. We need to call this girl outstanding, but definitely not slut.
The memes for this girl should have been like her wearing a tiara and being crowned the princess of the United States or something.
All right, this is
She's
ridiculous.
Doing good deeds.
Hang on.
She is setting a good role model. No. She is setting a precedent that should be copied.
No, it's not. No. All right, first of all, I didn't know anything about this story.
No, Kyle, listen to it. Imagine going to every concert, and instead of just one girl sucking two guys off, imagine there's like a whole area where you can get
I would never go to a concert.
Imagine, like a third of the stadium was devoted to the cock-sucking section.
First of all, let me say, I fucking hate concerts. I hate standing to hear a poor rendition of my favorite band's music. That's stupid. I don't want to stand for 3 fucking hours with a bunch of drunk
people. You could get your dick sucked while you stand there.
Do you like getting your dick sucked while listening to a poor rendition of your favorite band's music?
No, the real question is, do you like getting your dick sucked with a stranger in a public venue? That's the real question.
Well, what if there was a monogamy section? What if your girl did it, but it was just, she could wear a T-shirt that said "Only Kyle." That people would know not to bother her.
No, that's ridiculous. No, I would never.
How about this?
It's not ridiculous. It's brilliant. I don't know why no one else thought of this.
What if they had a section in the bathroom, kind of like where you change a baby, but it's where you can get your dick sucked?
They do have that. It's called a stall.
All right. So now we're
So Kyle, if a girl wanted to suck your dick at like a concert in the bathroom stall, you would tell her no.
No, I wouldn't do that. No, it's disgusting in a bathroom.
I think what he means by no, I wouldn't do that, is no, I wouldn't tell her no.
No, I wouldn't do that. No, I know a guy. All right, seriously, here's a fun story.
You know a guy that does this?
Yeah, I know a guy who was at a concert, met a girl, wanted to hook up with her. Obviously, there's nowhere to go except the porta potty.
Oh no, that is the biggest turnoff in the world.
Jeremy fucked this girl in a porta potty with people waiting in line. It's a concert. You know how porta potties are at events. You know, it's ridiculous, and they are disgusting. You know, this isn't like the porta potty you see like at a construction site that's been going for one day or something. This temporary porta potty that's okay to run into really quick. No, this is a dreadnought porta potty. This is danger mode. This is event mode, and
this is
they're
break glass when eating pussy porta potty.
They went in. No, not that though. They went in. They went in there and banged it out in the porta potty. And everybody knew. You know, you have to come out with the other person. You know, there's no way to like magic show. Like you're not gonna David Blaine your way out of this. Like you're gonna come out, close the door behind you, and then somebody's gonna be like, you know, okay, my turn. Wait, no, there's more. Like, and be surprised. Like that is not how it works.
Wow.
Dude, so when I was like 19, I was a lifeguard on the beach, and I had this thing that I did where I would try to get all like the world's most amazing jobs. But of course I couldn't actually get those jobs, so I would do substitutes. For example, if I'm a lifeguard on the ocean and I surf while I'm getting paid to be a lifeguard, I'm a professional surfer, right? So that was my thing. And I was dating Jackie at the time, and I was like, huh. So behind the beach, like at the top of it, there was a hotel. For those that know Ocean City, it was the Portico. And at the bottom of that hotel, there's a sauna that they would let the lifeguards use. It had like a sauna, like a spa type thing at the bottom. So there was like bathrooms and showers and stuff. And most of the beaches had someone who was kind to the guards and would let them like rinse off their feet or shower down or something. Even if it was just a house with an outdoor shower, which is common in beach homes. Back on topic. So Jackie and I go into this sauna and we get it done. It wasn't really great. Before long at all, we realized it was too hot, and I sort of just finished out of not wanting to fail. But yeah, sex in the sauna is a terrible, horrible idea. There are way better places. But I was on the clock, and I did this, and that was my little turn as a porn star. Ex-porn star, Woody's gamer tag. Got paid.
Ex-porn star, you should put that on your Twitter.
I got paid for having sex. You're right. Put it on Twitter. So yeah, fun story. Now I'm sharing.
Wow.
Yeah. That sounds dangerous. Sounds like you're like hyperventilating there.
Dude, it's so hot. It's a dry heat, but God, it's
yeah,
hot.
I was getting after it one time in a hot tub. I nearly died.
Yeah, you know, there's a reason beds are the most popular place to have sex. They're really quite good place to have sex.
Yeah, they're the best.
Yeah.
I think they are the best place to do
The
that.
kitchen,
Unless
the
maybe
bathroom,
it's some
not
sort of
nearly as good. The living room, no, it's just a cheap substitute. Like all these other places, saunas and closets and whatever, they suck for having sex. A bed is just
closet.
Closet, yeah. Hey, baby.
No,
let's go look at our coats while we get her done.
For some reason, I don't know. In college, we it wasn't even a built-in closet. It was like a freestanding wardrobe. Do you know what like I'm talking about? I don't know.
Like the Lion, the Witch in the wardrobe. Like did this take you to a magical land?
It was just a big plain like rectangular cube. I don't know what you call that. Then you open it and we push the clothes to the side, and there was a shelf on the top, so we had to like duck. It wasn't a good place to have sex, but it got done.
No, it wasn't.
So that's two places Woody's had bad places Woody's decided to have sex.
There's more than two. But
well, can we get some like not the stories, just like random places, bad places that you've had sex.
I dated Jackie for a year, and we started like calculating it and stuff. This is like, you know, we had sex like 500 times in that year. So we were doing good. We were doing good. Of course, my grades were terrible, but the sex was good. so that was a thing.
You guys see that meme I just linked?
I'm looking.
Yeah, I saw that, the one from your Twitter.
I'm about to. Let's see what you got here.
By the way, Wings, I was able to get the one under par was the best.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Wait,
Wings is I don't understand this thing because on one hand I've heard you say you don't even care about blowjobs, but on the other you seem very dedicated to the blowjob.
Me, I'm gonna go to it this way. I can take it or leave it if I get it every now and then, but I better have the option.
I like that. That's a good. Right. That is a Wings meme. That is a
I
Wings
better
meme.
have the option. I mean, like,
It's
if a bitch comes up to me and be like, I don't suck dick, and I'll be like, oh, check please.
Chris Rock had an awesome.
We gotta go.
He's like, what? You don't suck dick? He's like, what are you, a Betamax? Do they still make you? Yeah.
It's like anything you could tell me in a relationship. I was thinking about that today on Twitter. Like, is there anything a girl could tell me other than I'm a billionaire?
Oh my god!
That could get me not to leave her instantly if she told me she didn't suck dick.
Wait. Other than you're a billionaire? Because that would make you leave her instantly. I think you said that backwards.
Well, that's the only thing that would make me stay. Like, I got
it's ridiculous.
Pay my own bills.
Things that would allow.
Dick.
Yeah, things
so the
that
guy,
would allow
listen, I love this.
Dick.
Let's think about this for a second. The guy who would suck a dick for $15,000 would require that his girl be a billionaire before he stuck around. If she did not give head.
You're right.
That makes perfect sense to me. No,
this makes
right.
no sense.
No, Kyle, you're wrong. This is solid logic. I would also take. I think I would require a lot more than $15,000 to suck a dick. But if she didn't, it's not a good place to be.
It's not a good place to be, but I think it's a place you can work from. I think it depends on why she isn't up for it. If she's just like, I just never really tried it, or I don't think it's gross. But if she was like, I don't know, I was mouth raped when I was 14. You're never getting past that. That's you're never gonna get past that one. I was wearing a clown mask. Now you got a clown thing going on.
I would just be like, baby, 14, that was a year and a half ago. Get over it.
Oh, you that guy. What was that story about that guy that got 30 days in jail? Convicted of raping a 14-year-old?
My joke had nothing to do with that, by the way. I was certainly not making light of that.
I kind of follow that judge, though, but because what they did was consensual sex, but it's considered statutory rape by law, and the judge kind of understood that, and he didn't want to punish him, give him 15 years in jail because he had
guy?
The guy was in his early 30s, and the girl was 14.
Really? And he let that go?
He gave him 30 days he gave him a 15-year sentence, or it might have been 14 years, and he suspended it all but 1 month.
He gave him a month in jail for a let's just say 32-year-old guy banging a 14-year-old. That seems...
Now, I don't understand the facts of the case. Was it a violent... Because, Wings, you seem to have followed this. Was it violent?
No, it wasn't violent. Basically, the girl even came up to the stand and said she slept with him on her own volition. And, he agreed that he did sleep with her. And it was just like sex. It was normal sex. It just happened to be between a 32-year-old and a 14-year-old. And the parents didn't like it.
Okay.
Is the relationship over now, I wonder?
Most likely. I mean, at least for right now. I mean, it could be like that teacher that had sex with the student. Then she went to jail for 7 years. She got out and had sex with the student again. And she went to jail again. Got out and then married him after he was of age when he was at that point.
Yeah,
that's great.
The fact that they're still together and such, it makes me think that maybe the law was wrong in that particular case.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's been wrong. It's been wrong a lot. I know I had a buddy
hook up with some little girl.
No, that would no. Come on.
Woody Allen was.
You mean in real life? That's Woody Allen. Woody Allen ended up with his
stepdaughter.
Oh.
Yeah,
but
I think Seinfeld did.
But why are people okay? So if it wasn't violent, it was consensual. Why are people up in discretionary sentencing is a huge deal for a judge to be able to do that because, in this case, if it was consensual, the statutory rape part that exists, I don't know, if it was a culture or some kind of weird. He had some weird power over her, and she wasn't really aware of what she was doing. Again, I'm still not completely understanding the facts of the case, but if it was just strictly consensual, and the judge even said she was older than her biological or chronological age, why are people so upset about this? That's the point. The point of a judge being able to say.
Why were people upset about the Trayvon Martin verdict? Who knows?
I found the answer to the Seinfeld thing. Jerry Seinfeld, when he was in his late 30s, was fucking Shoshana Lonstein, who was 17. The relationship lasted 4 years.
Goodness.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I had a buddy that actually, his wife, when they first started going out, was 16. And they've been together 6 years now.
Wait. She was 17 when the relationship started, and it lasted for 4 years.
That's right.
So when she became 21, he got rid of her. He said, "Au revoir, Shoshana."
Time to get you a new model, trading up.
He's got $1 billion, so he can do whatever he wants.
She's a pretty
He's
girl.
funny. He can do what he wants.
He's right.
Well, as long as it wasn't violent and against the law, of course. But
I could deal with some Seinfeld violence. If Seinfeld pulled out a claw hammer and went ape shit on some guy at Reebok one day, wouldn't give a shit. Let him make another movie. All he has to do is be the voice of another animated bee or something, and I'm back on board.
What about Michael Richards? What does he do to get back on your good graces?
What makes you think he's out of them?
Okay, all right.
Michael Richards, is that the rape dude?
No, that's the one who was screaming the N-word at that comedy show.
Kramer.
Poor Kramer.
You guys see the guy since we're on this, you guys see the guy who got convicted of 50 counts of rape off of dating sites?
No, really?
No.
I think his name was Michael Jennings or something like that. Let me see if I can find his name. But what he did, he would go on these dating sites and he would dress up as different occupations.
Wait, it's rape. Don't laugh.
He had a picture of himself as an astronaut. He had one of them.
How ridiculous is the job of astronaut? Who are those motherfuckers? Those super overachieving cocksuckers who are flying around in space. Those guys are jerks.
Was he a cowboy? Here's me as a cowboy.
Like the Village People.
I want to see him as a fireman, right? But not like an actual fireman, like a fireman calendar model with suspenders and a hat.
Exactly.
No shirt.
Really bronzed up.
Yeah, right? Here's me as a cop.
I'm sorry,
I'm a professional baseball player.
Stuff that's totally verifiable. That all you gotta do what it is
I'm President Barack Obama. Hi.
He had one where he was like a cowboy. He had one as a doctor. He had one as a lawyer. He had 3 or 4 cute girls, and he would get these young girls that are just ooh, this man's got money, and he'd rape the shit out of them, dude.
You ruined the fun from it.
Yeah, we can't make jokes about that anymore now.
All we did was deceive them, like regular dating people.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, I actually use dating websites, and I would notice something like that. If a girl would put on different costumes and make different profiles, I would see all her different profiles. How can girls not see that?
Wore lots of costumes.
She did use lots of costumes.
But how I knew about them.
One of them was Naughty Nurse. I remember.
The Naughty Nurse was a police lady. There was a
Wait, did the police lady have handcuffs?
She did, and there was a Hello Kitty one. There was a Bunny Ranch one.
Oh goodness gracious! This TMI segment of Painkiller right here is sponsored by. Go ahead and tell them, Wings. Who's it sponsored by?
It's sponsored by Fairway Solitaire.
That's right.
Too much information thing. I had I just sounded really southern there. But I was busting my GoPro out the other day, and I'd forgotten that I used the GoPro for a little POV.
Oh.
And I had Kelly sitting here opening the file for me to get the video off of my wall.
No.
What was it?
A little POV, a little porn.
Yeah, but whose angle and what was happening?
It was doggy style, and it was with Brandy.
Oh, you're wearing it on your head.
Yeah.
You have it strapped on.
Yeah, he's got it strapped on his head like fucking.
Not just only he's gonna strap.
All I can picture when I see a GoPro strapped to somebody's head is like T. Martin like wearing it, like climbing up the side of a building somewhere.
Hey, come on. Anybody that's ever had a GoPro has had the idea of POV sex with.
No, I've never done that, man. I got a bunch of them.
Or did you wear a harness? Was it a headgear thing?
Yeah,
or did you
yes,
harness
he's got
him?
it right there. Strap it on your head for us, Wings. Show us.
So you actually did that.
Picture this, guys.
No,
Picture this right now. You're his girlfriend, and he comes in the bedroom. He comes in the bedroom, and he's
with a light
like,
blinking.
hey, you got your dirty police lady outfit on? 'Cause it's showtime.
Oh.
Oh, God.
Did you tell her, or did you wait until she was?
How would she not know? It's a giant camera strap.
She was looking the other way, man. Did you not get
Well,
the position?
he said it was doggy style, so maybe she assumed the position, and he concealed it, and then
Oh my
How do you
bam, ready to
conceal
go.
something like
You
that?
can't conceal that.
Oh, Wings, you're a legend.
So now I have to ask a question that everybody wants to ask.
By
Do
the
you
way,
still have the
subscribe to
file?
me. No, I deleted it. I'm like, I deleted it before you could watch it. I'm like, I gotta delete something here. He's like, what? This?
Did you show Kelly? Has Kelly seen it?
No, he didn't. He's
Did
probably
you
seen the
record it to
thumbnail
the
of it.
end?
Huh?
Did you record it to the end? I mean, did you?
Yeah, I recorded it all the way. Yeah.
You completed. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
All right then. Well done.
There's a small part of me. I'll admit it. There's a very small part of me that wants to see this video.
Oh no, there's a part of me that wishes I could add it to PK already.
Was it a small file?
No, it was not a small file.
Shit takes time, baby.
60 frames per
an artist
second,
has
or
to work, and sometimes you got to lay the foundation in the border of your masterpiece.
I don't know what that means.
That means it takes like 30 minutes to 45.
Okay.
So
okay.
Wait, okay.
that means I got to buy the big SD cards for the POVs.
So the POV, have you done this before? Like, was this your first time?
No, it was just something. It's like when I first got it, and like she's seen it, it was like, you know what I'm thinking, right? She's like, yeah.
Oh my God! If I ever said that to somebody, you know what I'm thinking, right? And I held it up, they'd be like, "Yeah, that'd be great for rock climbing, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, exactly. It would be great for rock climbing because we're not sick fucks."
Keep in mind, I've
end
never
the
had
show
a
there.
snake-
Wild card.
I've never had a big old snake in my bed, unlike some of our PKO co-hosts.
Oh, damn.
I missed something.
I did.
Kyle
too.
had sex with a woman that had a snake around her neck.
Oh, that did happen once. Yes.
You banged your girlfriend wearing a GoPro. I don't think you're in a position. A GoPro around your head. I don't think you're in a position to be all like, no, you're the one that's fucked up.
It wasn't my snake. I mean, hey.
That's just
not-
I joke, Wings, but that's so awesome. You're just.
Oh my God! All right, we need a new topic.
What
Look
happens
like an
after you die,
exterminator.
Wings?
What do you say?
What happens after you die?
Wings is gonna say nothing.
Oh man, like,
What is the experience like? What is the death and then after death? What do you got going on?
well, I think like death is the end of consciousness.
All right.
Yeah.
So does it just sort of fade away like into sleepiness?
Pretty much, like all the ideas and everything exist in your brain. When your brain dies, you pretty much go away, and like all your energy and everything that was stored in your body ends up breaking down, decompresses, and becomes other things. Be it flowers, be it food for like warm meals, be it poop. It transfers into the earth and becomes other things, and goes through the cycle till eventually another body is formed or reborn through the energy that you lost.
The truth is, I kind of agree. I don't know like you talked about energy and stuff like that. I don't know if I have the science right, but yeah, I think maybe you just sort of fade away, kind of like sleeping every day, and then you're gone. A gone that's hard to comprehend when you've never been gone before, but it just sort of wraps up and ends.
I look at it like this. It's like those 6 hours I slept last night that I don't know about.
See, I'm of the mind that eventually you might come back.
Yeah, but you won't come back as your own consciousness because even in this body, you evolved your consciousness as you aged.
Yeah, but I mean,
new personality.
Just as an archetype of human consciousness.
You do come back because the energy that you have just doesn't disappear. It goes into other things. Just like you slapping this desk, the energy didn't disappear, went into the desk.
I want people to be reincarnated as a different animal based on what kind of person they were. I think that would be cool. So that
obviously, I would be a lion.
Like all the shitty people would come back as really shitty animals, and like all the really cool people would come back as really cool animals. Like you'd be a fucking eagle or like a black panther somewhere in the jungle.
What animal would you pick, Kyle?
So I think you'd want to be the eagle. Be the eagle. Be an animal that
ran into like the glass and knocked himself out on that school.
Oh, I saw that video.
Are you that eagle, or are you like the eagle in like the 9/11 tribute videos?
No, I want to be one of those like golden eagles in Africa that like pick up small animals and carry them away.
I think I'd enjoy life as a dolphin. There's a nice community there. You got lots of friends. You sort of surfing and swimming, and I think dolphin life is for me.
Dolphin life does sound fun. Those things sometimes like beat the shit out of sharks as like a gang.
Yeah, I don't think there's. I could be wrong, but I don't think dolphins have a lot of predators to worry about.
Man.
Yeah, they get caught up in boat propellers all the time.
And Japanese people fucking eat them for some reason. They eat the most intelligent like animal in the world.
I don't want to be a Japanese dolphin, that's for sure.
No, you do not want to be a Japanese dolphin. You totally want to be like an American or maybe an Australian dolphin.
So, Kyle, you kind of dodged the question a touch. What do you, as opposed to what you want, what do you think happens after you die?
I don't know. I have no idea. Don't know. I hope something good happens. I hope there's an afterlife where all our souls go to some magical kingdom like heaven. That would be awesome.
Perhaps 72 virgins?
Yeah, perhaps 72 sluts.
Yeah, I would prefer 72 sluts, but because I could go to like it could be like a Comic-Con or some bullshit over there with 72 virgins.
Oh, Wig's taking a shot at Comic-Con. Wow. Okay, shots fired.
Hey, 10% of our fan base. Fuck you.
I'm just saying it doesn't specify what gender of virgin you're going to be getting.
I think it does for them in the book. It probably spells them out. There's probably like a description of what you know how like Old Testament type stuff gets. They would describe what these virgins look like, and their hair would be of a certain way. They always get really descriptive with that stuff. You can bet they're going to be female virgins. If you blow yourself up for Allah. I mean, if that's what's going to happen, then
Kyle, you're going to go to the big concert in the sky where there's always people ready to suck your dick.
Oh,
you're going to go.
Me and another random dude at the same time.
Let me ask you this.
And he's always there, no matter what.
All right. In stereotypical Muslim heaven, where they get the 72 virgins, do those virgins bleed? Because I would think that in heaven you wouldn't bleed when you were a virgin, because that.
Man. Yeah, they bleed. Yeah.
Like, why would you need that? Why would you need like blood and stuff like that?
Because they like it, so it is so.
Wait, you're gonna go pissing off.
Yeah, I'm just trying to push
Christianities and Muslims and all this, but it's like streets of gold. Like, why would you have streets of gold? Like,
it's a soft metal. You don't build with that.
I know you don't build with that. And on the other hand, it's like that's an earthly possession. It's like when you go to hell, they go like, you're going to burn in hell and damnation. No, you're not. Your nerve endings die with your body. What are you going to do?
Here we go. We've done it again, and we have described to you how hell works before. Hell is a magic place. If you don't believe in the magic, then you can't be part of the argument, frankly.
Wait, this sounds suspiciously like you have to vote if you want to bitch about stuff.
No!
It does. Let's not go back to that
There's no way. Look, because you can't sit there and say to me that, no, there's no hell because, eventually the energy is just, eventually the material is used up. There's nothing else to burn. And I say to you, but wait. It's a magical, kingdom of torment. This is an alternate universe of pain. The rules of our universe don't apply there. Let's just say that it's an alternate universe of pain, and our rules don't apply there, and you literally do just burn forever.
So okay, I would accept that if you could provide proof of an alternate.
I have no proof
pain.
thereof.
Right.
I'm not suggesting that it is a reality of any kind. All I'm saying is that you certainly can't disprove the thing by simply saying that
That's the trouble with these arguments, right? Like, all right, when you're not around, my goldfish fly in the room. Disprove it.
I'm gonna give you a video
camera
camera. Yeah.
All right, no.
GoPro for some POV
It
shots.
doesn't happen on camera, right? And only when it's unobserved, right? But when it's unobserved, the goldfish fly.
I think you better.
So you're telling me it's that?
Does it make a sound?
It's that bullfrog from the Looney Tune cartoons.
But that's kind of the argument that religious people make. Like, all right, yeah, this absolutely happens. I provide you zero proof, or proof that's like easily disproven or whatever, like some tree stain like the Virgin Mary. And but this is totally observed, and if you don't believe me, then you don't have faith, and you're bad for that.
What's really bad is that when people try to use those models of the universe to explain things, like how the universe is and how, well, first it was what the world is, and then it was what our solar system is, and then our galaxy, and then the universe. And it's the idea is, and Woody, you're stumbling on it, is that, or well, not stumbling, but you're touching on it, that when you try to explain things, you can, Woody, your model of the universe, where when you leave the room, your goldfish fly around, that would agree with observation, because when you leave, or let's just say your goldfish disappears, right? Mm-hmm. When you leave the room and close the door, you don't see your goldfish. They must have disappeared. That agrees with observation. However, when things arise, when, let's say, the table the goldfish were sitting on falls while you left the room, and then you come in, you would expect to see, given your model of the universe, the goldfish sitting neatly upon the fallen over table. But what you're going to see is the broken fish bowl and the fish flopping around in the spilled water. And so you have to make an exception to your model of the universe to explain that scenario. And when you start relying on issues of faith like that, you have to make more and more exceptions to explain all these things. Because originally the stars moved. It was a huge contraption of wheels within wheels. That explained the cosmos and how the stars moved throughout us, and the world was flat, and it was just we were looking at wheels within wheels moving the stars. And then it was, well, wait a minute, the Earth is round, and then heliocentrism and all this stuff, and matters of faith, not just any particular religion, had to make specific exceptions as we learn more and more and more. And at some point, your exception-riddled model just isn't worth it anymore. Why should I have to use this model that needs all these exceptions to fly when I can explain things just as readily and just as even easier with another way, science and observation and empirical data and all that stuff.
And what I was starting at, though, that touches on it, was you can't put up the line, prove me wrong, right? You have to prove things right. You can't, I can't say this is so, and I will continue to say so until you prove it's not. Mm-hmm. No, that's a backwards argument. You have to prove that it is so, not that it is not so. And that was where the flying goldfish or disappearing goldfish comes from. I have to prove to you that it happens. That's the burden of proof. You can't be asking someone to prove that it doesn't happen. You can't be proving negatives, because you can always just throw out exceptions and variations, and you don't ask someone to prove that it's not true.
I have to say, though, I don't feel like Lefty's model applies correctly, because if the number of exceptions that are required increase, you're saying that the number of things that you have to just believe as that increases, then the likelihood decreases. But I feel like it's much easier to simply believe in a magical God in the sky. That's just one thing you have to believe, that there's an omniscient being with magical powers. You just got to believe one thing in that. But to believe in us coming from sludge, so many exceptional things had to happen.
But take that magical being and try to use it to explain things. Not just, well, I believe that it exists. We're talking more about...
You can't. It's not concrete at all.
Use that magical being to explain why you have gas in your car.
That doesn't work like that, because it's magic.
It does work like that.
Exploding dinosaurs.
That's
Dinosaurs don't exist in Christian religion.
I'm told they do, but I haven't
Jesus
seen
was
anything like
riding.
that.
There's paintings of Jesus riding that.
They exist. They just didn't make it onto Noah's Ark.
Haven't you ever heard of the Velociraptor? Please, Reeds.
Velociraptor.
Velociraptor is old school.
That's an old school meme.
I mean, I don't know. I understand that it brings comfort and it brings a lot of joy to a lot of people. And, like, in most cases, this is a really good thing. Like, the churches do a lot of great things. Like, in my community, churches pretty much take care of the homeless. There is not a homeless problem in Conway or Myrtle Beach because the church will take you in and give you a place to stay and help you get back on your feet. They do great things. But the other part of me says that if people love to do great things as a church, they could do it without the religious, philosophy leading them. But people naturally want to be a clan. They want to be a family. They want to be around other people. They want to feel like they're a part of something. That's why things like Team Woody or Team Greenwall or, Optic Nation, all these things work because it makes you feel bigger. You're part of a bigger picture.
I actually went to church somewhat regularly, like 8 years ago. And, it wasn't even the God thing. I was like, you know what? I don't have to talk about the God thing. I just want to be part of a group. I want to be part of a community and, meet new people and probably good people. And but the church sucked, so I stopped going after a couple months.
That is true. I will say this. I sometimes envy the guy who banged the girl in the porta potty. He plays church league softball. And I'm like, hey, I kind of wish I was part of a church league softball thing. They kind of go out there and they're kind of serious about it, but not really, and they have a good time, and it's good exercise, but you got to go to the church, and I'm not doing that.
Yeah, church.
No, I just want to play the softball. That's all.
And here's a lot of people always ask me about what I feel about religion. So here's how I feel about it. So there's a very scientific part of my brain that just can't get on board with a lot of stuff. But then there's another part of me that understands and can sort of begin to comprehend how ridiculously enormous the universe is, and contemplate things like, well, okay, if we all started as this one kind of atom, then where did that atom come from? And if how did these elements come into existence? How did it all start? If stars start here, then what started before that? And it just doesn't make any sense. So I think it's just a smart bet for me to kind of casually think that there's a higher power up there, and he looks over this little sandbox of his, and sometimes he intervenes if it's cool with him, but most of the time not. And we're kind of on our own a lot of the time.
Kyle, you just beautifully painted the pic. I mean, when you start talking about the origins of the universe and you get into that discussion with people that actually know what they're talking about, not like some asshole on an internet podcast, but Neil deGrasse Tyson, all that stuff, it's still science, but it's still more philosophical. And you're talking about moving the goalposts and, well, what created this? And one of the things that a lot of people subscribe to is the notion that we started from a singularity. Or an asymmetrical singularity, but the idea being that you can't reason past a singularity because we are born from this singularity and we have no idea, no way to comprehend in our 3+1 space-time universe, we have no idea to comprehend what lies beyond that. No, we lack the words to describe it. We lack the understanding, the ability to formulate and model that world in our minds because 3+1 space-time is all we know. And it's just like you talked about with Wings, talking about heaven and hell, and the idea of, well, they are mystical, magical realms that we can't comprehend. We are using words like fire and burning and streets paved of gold to try to explain them, but they are feeble attempts to explain something that we can't really comprehend. And so it's really cool how religion, theism there becomes really close to what happens at really high orders of scientific study, and they do become philosophical in nature and actually get very, very close to each other. That was kind of cool. I just noticed
that. And I also have this fantasy world in which, like, there's, the ancient astronauts were real, and all the Greek gods are actually aliens, and they're still alive, and one day we get to meet, like, Zeus and Apollo and all that shit. It's going to be crazy.
I don't think we've ever actually met aliens, Kyle.
I know, Wings.
Kyle, wasn't there something you were talking about before the show when I was like, stop?
Oh, yeah. So, Wings, it looks like you were on the verge of getting your finances back in order. You're about to sell... What's this truck called?
Yeah.
It's a 2012 F1.
No. What's it called?
Bethany.
All right.
Bethany? Okay.
So, Bethany is getting sold to a gentleman near you. And I guess you got the price you wanted, which, to be honest with you, I never thought would happen because I thought you wanted too much for the truck.
No, the guy got a steal.
He got a steal, Kyle.
He got a steal.
All right, let me go ahead and explain this. If you go to a dealership lot right now, a 15,000-mile F-150 like I had, loaded up, it's going to cost you somewhere around the ballpark of $37,000 to $39,000.
Damn.
Used.
Yeah, they're expensive.
I given it to him for $33,000.
Oh, okay. I thought you wanted a lot more.
Damn, it's like highway robbery.
I wanted 35, but I'm like, dude, I need to move the truck. I got insurance coming up. I will give it to you right now for 33, and he agreed to it.
Nice.
And like, I have to move it. Like on the 8th, if I don't have it sold by the 8th, it's $1,000 I got to come up with for the insurance on that bad boy.
Oh, you pay for 6? What is it? Yearly?
Months. It's $700, but. It's $700, but I got another $300 to pay on the other truck I have. So yeah, I'd rather just pay the $300 on the other truck and not have the black one.
Well, we went somewhere else with this earlier, though. What else did where'd we go with this?
We were talking about the finances. Right now he has a 3-day period where he can get cold.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So we're basically waiting on the bank to open up so he can pay you, right?
Yes. The bank called me Friday and said they got all my information, they got my payoff, and they've cut him a check already. And it's waiting on his loan officer's desk at his credit union, but he couldn't get to them Friday because he got caught up at work. So Labor Day's Monday, so it's going to be Tuesday before we can actually get to there, so I can pay my part of the bill, which is $2,600, and put the check with it, get the title transferred to his bank, and hand him the keys.
Well, that'll be good. I gotta say though, so I know a few things about car sales, and man, stretching one over the weekend like this is a scary proposition.
Well, you don't think I tried everything in my power to get him to do it Friday? I'm like, come on.
Oh, yeah, man. Oh, no, I'm not saying it's any fault of yours. I'm just saying it's a situation that would worry me.
I mean, there's a lot of time to think. But one thing that really kind of comforts me is, one, the bank loan's already there. So if he wants out of it, he'd have to pay interest. 2, he's only really going to be paying $20,000 because he had a 2005 F-150, which he sold already to a car dealership for $11,000.
So did he do that?
Wait, he has an 05 F-250?
F-150.
I don't know.
And he's already sold that to a car dealership.
So he needs a car. Yeah.
That's what I was going.
He's going to give that $11,000 to the bank. So they're really only financing about $20,000.
Truck fever. I have an 03 Tacoma, best truck on the PKA, and
he wants me to bite on that one.
What's that? Oh, me?
Yeah,
that's not up for debate.
Mine has more horsepower, more torque.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I mean it's good for a girl's car.
You see my truck? It's far from a girl's car.
I mean, compared to mine, I was saying.
It's got less dents.
Yeah, that much is true. There's no getting around that.
Beauty marks, though. Those are beauty marks.
Yeah, there's a beauty mark. My truck's been in a fight or two. Your truck's kind of a sissy girl.
I bet if you ever drug your truck alongside of a tree or something and then thought, oh well.
Many times. Many times.
What is like? Is your truck ever caught on fire and you're like, I'm not done with my sandwich?
Yeah. The front brake, the front right breaker, front left blinker, rear blinker, and the other rear blinker. All four corners are smashed and like reassembled with epoxy and shit. I just got it inspected like a month ago, and the guy's like, "Dude, there's holes in your blinkers. There's like missing pieces of plastic." And I'm like, "Dude, I get my truck inspected here for like 6 years in a row. You know, I expect it to pass. It always does. There's nothing new." And he's like, "Well, I'm telling you can't pass right now. You'll have to put Scotch tape on it." I said, "I'd rather go down the road and find someone who will pass it." And he's like, "I can't pass it." And I said, "Well, I can drive it," so I did. I went like a block away, and they passed it there. I got a new inspection center that I'm loyal to. Whoever has the lowest standards, that's where I take my shit.
Absolutely. Did I tell the story about the lady IDing me for a fucking lighter the other day?
No, I didn't know that was
a lighter.
No, man. Okay, so yeah, you got to be 18 to buy a fucking cigarette lighter. So I go in, and I go to this. It's a truck stop near my house. I go there 3-4 times a week. I recognize this blonde lady who's checking me out, and I'm like, yeah, oh yeah, and a lighter. You know, I bought like a soda, a snack, and I was like, yeah, and a lighter. And she's like, "Oh, need to see your ID," and I'm like, and she like starts putting on her reading glasses because she's prepared to like inspect my ID. And I'm like, "Are you serious?" She's like, "Yep, gotta see it." I'm like, "No." I was like, "I'm 27 years old. If you think I'm 17, then I'm going to go buy my Pepsi across the street." She's like, "I can't sell it to you." And I'm like, "All right, fuck you." And I left. I went across the street, and a guy named Patel sold me a lighter without even looking up while he babbled on the phone in a foreign language.
I go the opposite direction. Like, I took my daughter to a concert last night, and as we're going in, they're, like, marking everybody's hand. And the nature of the concert was that there were a lot of, like, young girls there, like 12-year-olds and 10-year-olds and stuff. And they're just, putting X's on their hand, meaning they can't get served. And the guy before me had, like, a full bushy beard, but he was young, so they ID'd him. And then they get up to me, and I'm, like, pulling out my ID, and they're like, "No, it's cool." I'm like, "No, I don't mind. And they're like, "We got this."
I am a sick fuck. I was sort of hoping Woody would get ID to let people know that he's really old. Like you have like a mark on your hand that the young girls shouldn't hit on you.
I thought it'd be funny if they put like a blue X on Woody, like keep an eye on this old guy.
What's this guy doing here?
What's he doing here with the girls?
No, it was fun. There were like a lot of there's girls like screaming up by the stage, going crazy, like all like fangirling out, and then you back up like 20 feet, and there's a bunch of parents watching them, making sure everything's okay. I hung out with the bouncers for a little bit. I'm like, "Easy night," and they were cool. They're like, "Oh, I would take this all day, every day." You know, when they get an act that draws lots of little kids, it's an easy night to be a bouncer. Yeah, that's cool.
Someone
asked me on Twitter if I could beat up the guys there, like how many guys I could beat up that were there, and it was like there were only like 2 guys there, aside from the dads. And I'm like, I think I could beat up every guy at this concert at once. Like, how awesome would that story be? Like, yeah, one time I went to a rock concert, I beat up every guy there by myself. Of course, they were both like 13 and 14, but still made them my bitches.
What about the bouncers? Could you take them?
I don't know. They were big.
Bouncers are scary, right? Like, if you're a bouncer, one of the qualifications is be big and scary.
Yeah.
So, like...
That's the main qualification.
That's the main qualification, right? Like,
I've got offered a bouncer job. I'm like, dude, I'd get my ass kicked.
These guys were heavy, but they were just tall and big, and they'd be troublesome. They were like 6'4" and big.
Yeah, bouncers are always scary. And there are a couple different kinds of bouncers. There are douchebag bouncers and there's cool bouncers. The douchebag bouncers haven't been bouncing long. they're really enjoying the idea of bouncing. It's the guys who hate their job now. Those are the cool bouncers.
Yes, that's what these guys were. They were just like thrilled to death that they were all 12-year-old girls who had no intentions of misbehaving and had parents watching them. Like that's their favorite kind of event to bounce.
Yeah, I worked with a guy who had been a bouncer, who was like loved to be a bouncer, and he was the biggest douchebag ever. He was like, "Yeah, man," and this guy's huge. His head is like 2 of Wings of Redemption's heads, and it's square. It has right angles.
So I got a big head?
And yeah, you got a big head, but this guy had an enormous head. And he's like, "Yeah, man, so the fight broke out. I was just ripping and tearing, trying to get to the middle of it. Got in there, next thing I know, on the ground, getting my ass whipped. Threw my leg over him, got on top, knocked all his teeth out. Next thing you know, I've kicked the shit out of like 6 dudes. Some of them didn't even see it coming." He's just telling me this crazy story about like just some all-out brawl with people getting smashed in the head with vodka bottles, and that's his like idea of like the best night ever.
Yeah, that's not good. Hey, do we need a new topic?
We do.
Okay. What fictional person would make the best Painkiller already guest? Who's your ideal fictional guest?
Ooh.
Well, that's not fair. That opens a magical kingdom of fake people that we could...
Yeah.
Laszlo from the... No, but he's real. Damn.
Who were you saying?
Laszlo from the Grand Theft Auto series. He's a radio personality. I was just thinking in terms of putting on a podcast.
Well,
So
I think too, I mean, most of these fictional characters are played by somebody. Like, if you were to say you really wanted Jon Snow to be in, you know, he's still fictional to me,
Jon Snow.
even though he's played by somebody.
Hodor.
I don't know what popped in my head, but he would actually be a terrible guest, wouldn't he?
I would love to have Hodor on the
He
show.
only knows one word.
Hodor!
Hodor's a bitch.
Man,
Tweet that to him.
you know what game he doesn't play?
What game doesn't he play?
Fairway Solitaire.
Fairway Solitaire.
Oh.
Available for iPad and iPhone. It's free. Let's go ahead and check it out.
Check it out.
You gotta pass an anti-bitch test though.
So no Fairway Solitaire for Hodor? You never make it past the demo. I don't know. Jesse from Breaking Bad would be a neat guest, wouldn't he?
I guy's a bitch. I hate that guy. I hate that guy so much.
He's all tormented and he
No,
might throw
I
money.
hate that. Look, let me just say this. There is one thing that will make me hate a character in a film or a TV show. People are going to love this. And you can shoot a dog, you can shoot a kid, you can like burn schools down, hospitals, you can be like, you know, some monster from Schindler's List, and while I won't care for you, while I won't care for you as the character, I won't just hate you and not be able to watch you when you go on screen. But if you destroy money, I can't even bear to look at your fucking character anymore. You are ruined for me, Jesse. When he was throwing that fucking money away. No, you don't. No. And for some reason, the scene from The Dark Knight Rises, you know, when the Joker's burning all that money, that may not be the right film, but, you know, the Dark Knight movie where the Joker burns all the money, that didn't really bother me, because it was, like, such an enormous amount of money, and it didn't even look real, to be honest.
He had a comical amount of money, huh?
Yeah, it was a comical amount of money, you know, it was like $1 trillion, it looked like. It was just a huge amount of money. But this guy just had 2 giant duffel bags full of money, and he's throwing it the fuck away. Just no regard for all that beautiful, beautiful money. I can't deal with it. I don't like Jesse anymore.
I got my
watch
answer.
it.
What's your answer?
Aldo Rain.
Who's that?
The guy from Inglourious Bastards.
Oh, which one is he?
The main
Brad
character.
Pitt.
Brad Pitt's character? That's not a bad one. Oh, Wings has made it really difficult to top.
We get Brad.
I was going to say Walter
We get Batman.
White. Batman.
Does Batman really have anything to say?
He would be forced to, like if it was part of his job to perform a 2-hour podcast. podcast. You know, he'd have to come up with some shit to talk.
I think all the rain's better than
the
Batman.
mermaid would Batman want?
I love Winks.
Be more sophisticated.
Winks just got defensive. He's like, I think Aldo Rain's better than Batman.
No, I'm just saying, 'cause he'd be a more sophisticated guy, and he'd probably be a pretty good storyteller because he's a billionaire public speaker. But Aldo Rain would be funnier.
I don't know. He's just a redneck from the North Georgia mountains.
Yeah. He might get on a mic. And
I got a friend who could come on who might be better than Aldo Rain. He fucked a girl on a porta potty.
Scout Nazis.
So, this is kind of a change of topic, but everybody's talking about this Batman versus Superman movie. For a while, they thought that I can't think of his name. The guy who plays Walter White and
Okay.
Bryan Cranston.
Bryan Cranston. They thought Bryan Cranston was going to be Lex Luthor, but now they're denying all of that. But
he'd make a great Lex Luthor.
he would make a great Lex Luthor. But I saw some discussion the other day, and it was this long, drawn-out thing, and basically the writer was saying that this whole Batman versus Superman thing was like a desperation move coming out of Warner Brothers, I guess, because they're seeing all the success that Disney Marvel is having. They've created their team, and now they've got each member of the team has a movie, and then they have every year or two they have the Avengers movie. Now there's 3 of them there's going to be a total of 3 of them, and they're making like $1.5 billion each. And so they're trying to get into it, but they don't have any characters. The Green Lantern failed. They know they can't make a Wonder Woman movie that's just going to be shitty. They don't know what to do. So they're like, well, we've got Batman and we got Superman. So let's make them face off. But he was saying that it's pretty much impossible to make this a good, feel-good movie no matter what, because you can't allow Batman to actually beat Superman. You can't allow Superman to actually beat Batman. So in the end, there's got to be some kind of a truce. So you're not going to feel good about the outcome. And it's just going to be kind of forced. The whole movie, from the very beginning, all you're doing is sitting there thinking, well, at what point is Superman going to show up? Or at what point is Batman going to show up?
No. The way you do the movie is you martyr Superman. You have Superman taint just like he did in Superman 3. He tainted himself and he turns into this evil Clark Kent kind of person. And you have the good Clark Kent inside of him that constantly comes through and sees the pure side of him, and have him beg Batman to kill him at the end of the movie. And at the end, you want Batman to kill Superman.
I don't like that. I got my own idea. So I recently watched the animated Batman movies on Xbox Video. And Batman The Dark Knight Returns Part 2 deals with this. And it deals with Frank Miller's interpretation of Batman versus Superman. And it's fucking awesome. And I think it's the one that they may go with. If I had to guess, this is the story they're going to use. Because it also involves an aging Batman who's coming out of retirement, which is kind of what they've told us that we're going to be looking at. And, he comes back, and it's a future in which, like, all of the superheroes have kind of been disarmed by the government, It looks like who's the archer, the guy with the bow? Is he just the archer?
Hawk or something?
Yeah. But in the DC universe, you're thinking Marvel. He's like I can't think of his name, but anyway, like in this future, like his arm has been cut off by Superman. It looks like by order of the president, but to like disarm all of the superheroes because they were weapons of mass destruction. And now, Superman gets him to come in and help him, or Batman does, and they take Superman down in the end. It's really good. I hope they go on.
Is it Green Arrow by chance?
Yes, it's Green Arrow.
Mm.
I'm looking at the characters in the DC universe. I'm trying to figure out how they can make their own Avengers. It's a struggle, man. Like Aquaman, it's a really limited power controlling fish.
Fag.
Yeah, and I think he can do a lot more than that now. But I'm not an expert on these things, so people who are like totally into their graphic novels will hate me for talking about this, but. Firestorm, like, is he good? The Green Lantern Corps?
So
reboot that. Green Lantern's awesome. They just need to reboot it because the movie sucked.
They need to not cast Reynolds.
Yeah, it made it kind of like a silly movie, though, right? Like it didn't feel serious at all. Like there was no darkness to that movie.
And I don't know that movie that well because I fell asleep during it, but that says something too.
Right? I don't think I finished it. It was a really shitty movie.
Yeah.
The problem is it's what I said earlier is the DC universe really has 2 characters. They've got Batman and Superman.
They have Flash and Aquaman.
They're nobody. There are no legions of fans who wear those who are into that
was
stuff.
Awesome.
Watchmen was awesome. I don't think I think it was awesome purely on just visual being beautiful.
I give him credit for more than that. I think it was really good.
I still don't know anything about those characters. I'd like to know more about them, but I'm still really confused about what the Watchmen are.
Watchmen was an amazing movie, man, and I thought they covered their history pretty well. The thing is, I feel like it's a story that's told from beginning to end in that movie, and it was fantastic. It's not an ongoing thing, is it? If it is, then casuals like me don't know of it.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that, but I feel like they did a really good job with things with making Thor a thing, and making Captain America a thing, and making the Hulk a thing. But and then when each of those movies probably, I don't know what they made, 100, 200, 300 million dollars, but when their ability with the Avengers to throw all those guys into the pot together and have Robert Downey Jr. leading the cast, it's insane. The money making juggernaut that the Avengers is.
I'm trying to think of how DC can replicate that, right? Because if you had rewinded to before the Avengers was out there, and I told you, oh, Marvel's got great stuff going on. They've got Thor and Hawkeye and who's Scarlett Johansson's character? Black Widow.
Black Widow.
And they have the Incredible Hulk. I'd be like, whoa, what? Wait a minute. How do these characters even work together? And how is this Archer guy even? I'm talking about Hawkeye, or is he the Hawk? I forget his name.
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye, good. How is he even remotely interesting? He's a guy with like 11 arrows on his back. Like, how's he going to do stuff? This woman has 2 Glocks. She's not even a superhero. She's just a really good spy. Hawk, the guy doesn't even have language capabilities. And when you Hawk him, he just goes wild and doesn't follow instructions. Like, I would have thought this was a really crappy team until I saw what they did with it, and it was brilliant. So if we were to try to do the same thing with DC and say, all right, we're going to take Killer Frost, we're going to take Superman, Batman, we're going to take Grifter, and I don't know who else,
the Flash, Green Lantern, and Aquaman.
Flash, Captain Cold.
That's who you go with.
And do your thing. The idea might sound crappy, but so did the Avengers idea until they put it all together so well.
I don't know. I had faith in Marvel because of the way the X-Men went down. They've made such a thing out of the X-Men, and they've made spin-offs with Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman has played Wolverine like...
To me, the X-Men hasn't met expectations in a while.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really excited about X-Men anymore. I feel Avengers is a million times better than X-Men ever was, and I think I like the X-Men stories better.
I think the new one's going to be good.
If you were to pitch the 2 ideas to me, the Hulk, Hawkeye, Black Widow, etc., and an X-Men movie, I'd take the X-Men pitch every day. But having seen the movies, I'd take Avengers every day.
Yeah, I guess that's true. It's definitely a bigger, better movie. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the number. I guess I would need to see the numbers though. Like, does an X-Men movie cost $75 million to make, and then it makes $225, or is it something different than that? And what's the deal with the Avengers? I know those things cost it's like $500 million to make or something, and it made like a $1.4 billion or something nuts.
You know what I'm gonna say? That's kind of sacrilege. I don't like
Star Wars?
Patrick Stewart all that much.
Oh no, yeah, that's terrible. You can't not like Patrick Stewart.
What do you don't like about Patrick Stewart?
I feel like he brings a certain theater performance to the movies and the characters that he plays. Like, he likes to sing. He likes to sort of be boisterous and like broadcast, and he's kind of like a presenter who does this and to do that, and I'm like, man, that's not the character you're playing. Like, I don't see him do gritty roles properly. He brought Star Trek. He and Data literally did show tunes in a Star Trek movie while riding around on a space shuttle.
Yeah, but that has a lot to do with Data actually writing the Star Trek movies.
First of all, in their defense, they were doing show tunes because Data had his data corrupted, and by singing the song, Picard was trying to, keep him busy and access a different part of Data's mind, okay? So they sang a song
Woody.
together, okay? They sang a duet, all right? But it saved the galaxy.
You realize how horrible that is.
I liked it because they're both pretty good singers. I was like, la 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 la. I'm like, so, yeah, it's all right. I got no problem with that.
Yeah, I won't knock their singing talents. They're a million times better than I could achieve. I just don't think show tunes have a place in Star Trek.
I don't know. I've watched all the stuff. I think you've got to go back to some of the original Star Trek episodes and see where that thing came from. I mean, there was an episode where Sulu was all shirtless and he had a sword in the hallways, and
I hear you.
Kirk banged so many green women.
Oh yeah.
How about this for an idea? Like, if you guys seen the movie Kick-Ass?
Yes. I
no.
liked it.
Did you like Kick-Ass?
I did like Kick-Ass.
All right. How about DC creating another hero, kind of like the Punisher, but with Kevin Bacon being in the main role?
Kevin Bacon?
He's a gritty character.
But isn't he like 60 now?
Yeah. It doesn't matter. The Punisher could be 60. I mean, it's just a guy that has a vendetta. He doesn't have to be a superhero.
They've tried to do Punisher movies, haven't they?
Yeah.
Marvel.
Here's the problem with the Punisher, man. The Punisher is...
He's 55, by the way.
The Punisher is just like a gunman. The Punisher is he's
the same thing with Scarlett Johansson's character, Black Widow.
No. Been replaced by FPS Russia.
No. So Scarlett Johansson's character is a spy. She's got a job. She's endorsed by a government. She doesn't go on, crazy missions to like make things right. The Punisher just shoots people he thinks are bad people. The Punisher's a criminal. He's a murderer.
Well,
He doesn't arrest people. He punishes them.
He's alright.
But I'm saying, the fact is, DC doesn't have really anything past Superman and Batman. I think we can all agree with that. I mean, Solomon Grundy is not the Hulk.
The thing is, I feel like before the Avengers, the characters on there were nothing.
No, there'd been successful Hulk movies before.
The Hulk movies were panned for sucking.
They were, but they had been
but a lot of people paid to see them.
Yeah. And you had Iron Man coming in there, like
Iron Man is awesome. Iron Man.
If they drug Christian Bale's Batman into this, I might feel a little better about it. But instead, we're getting Ben Affleck's Batman, which I'm coming around on.
Me too, right? Like initially, I heard, really? Oh, well.
He's just goofy looking, but I find Ben Affleck to look like a goofy frat boy with that chin and everything, and he looks like a douchebag. He just does. He looks like a douchebag, and they're making him Bruce Wayne, and that kind of sucks.
He could be going through like one of those metamorphoses, though, like Joaquin Phoenix did. Like he can look like an entirely different person by the time the movie comes out.
Joaquin Phoenix always looks the same to me. I feel like he always looks exactly the same.
Look at him in Johnny Cash's Walk the Line, and then look at him when he went through his rap career. He just
I look at him as Johnny Cash, and I think if I put some armor on this guy, I could totally make him fight in a gladiatorial arena and wouldn't know the difference. Looks just like the evil, emperor from the Russell Crowe movie. Yeah, still looks the same all the time. He's, they change his hair a little bit. Same dude.
Joaquin Phoenix went crazy, right? Didn't
he? Yeah, and then they made that mockumentary with Casey Affleck, or Batman's brother.
Wait. That was a mockumentary?
That was a mockumentary. He's playing along. He's not crazy.
I'm so stupid.
Yeah.
Woody's world just crumbled.
Oh, I'm so embarrassed. That was not...
Come on, he literally snorted cocaine off a hooker's ass in that film. Like, I thought it was real too, at first.
You're bailing me out. You're a good friend, Kyle.
I totally wouldn't have this mercy on Wings.
You try to say you're not my friend, Kyle?
No, I'm just saying it'd be more fun to fuck with you about it. Joaquin Phoenix was real.
Yeah, no, Kyle's so smooth like that. He slipped right into it. Oh, I believed it for a minute too. Yeah,
I did believe it for a minute. I really honestly did. Like when I first started watching it, I was like, damn, Joaquin has went nuts.
Right. He's
And then I start worrying about him because at one point he's literally snorting cocaine off of a prostitute's ass.
Who hasn't done that?
Like he hires these prostitutes, he buys cocaine, and then he starts doing lines of it off their ass. Like, this is legit in the movie. And it's filmed like a documentary. And I'm like, holy shit, I gotta check on Joaquin. I don't have another, 60 minutes to finish this film. Let me IMDb this and figure out if he's in prison or dead or what happened to him after Casey put this movie out and cashed in. And then I was like, oh. But they didn't admit that it was a mockumentary. Like they don't admit it.
They never went over the top or anything. They just put it out like it was true.
Yeah, and they still, it's not like he's done much more work since. He did the.
I can't be the only idiot who bought it. Hook,
no, lots of people bought it. There are people who think Trailer Park Boys is real.
That one did not fool me.
No, I watched like 3 episodes of Trailer Park Boys with somebody the other day, and they were like, "This shit for real, man." And I'm like, what do you mean? It's like Cops something? I was like, yeah, it's like Cops, but in Canada. And so it's a little bit different there. I was like, their laws are different. Like, most of the shit these guys get caught with, even the marijuana trafficking, that's misdemeanor shit up there. So, they're just kind of loose with it. Well, that's cool as fuck, man. I like this shit. He thinks it's real. He's on there. He's like, that Bubbles guy. Bubbles guy's got Down syndrome, man. I'm like, yeah, he's got Down syndrome. Nobody bothers him about it though. You'll see.
So, Wings, you beat depression recently.
Mm-hmm.
How did you do it? You
want me to tell you the secret? I was actually going to do a video on it. But I'll tell you the secret. You remember a Hutch video that came out recently? Well, not recently, but about a year ago, and he said that the way you beat depression is you take yourself out of the social networks.
Okay.
I did the complete opposite. I started, instead of sitting on Facebook and looking at other people's lives, I started typing to them. I started interjecting myself into their lives. I started, instead of looking at girls' profiles on dating sites, I sent them messages, even if I didn't want to or felt like I shouldn't have. I started, listening to music again because I got to a point in my life where I didn't listen to music at all. And, little things like that slowly made me feel better about myself.
I think the answer is different for everybody, right? Like Hutch, I did see that thing you're talking about in the social media, and for him, he was looking at everybody post the highlights of their life. Like, look at me, I'm at a concert. Look at me, I'm at a party. Look at me, I just had something good happen in my life. And he would see that and feel like he didn't measure up. And that was his issue with social media. You went the other way. You saw social media and you used it as a way to connect to people.
Yeah, the hardest thing about depression is when you're in depression, what you have to do to get out of depression is what you don't want to do while in depression. Interact with people. Just being around people makes you feel better. Like just having that human response to people.
For me, being outdoors helps a lot.
Outdoors too.
It's huge.
I think it's different. I think it's different for everyone.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I like being indoors. Like if I'm not feeling good, I like to go make a giant plate of onion rings, fucking get in bed, watch some movies.
Yeah, but mine went beyond that, Kyle. Not feeling good. Mine was like the last 10 months of my life. I was just in this haze.
I'm referring to depression. I'm just not being too dramatic with it. When you're depressed, my thing is to chill out at home with some movies and fried food and just chill out and not think about it and feel better the next day.
Well, all I have to do is say about this: as soon as I got out of depression, things started going right. Because when you're in depression, you feel like just stuff is piling on you, and it's like, fuck it, I'm doing nothing. But
also, when things start going right, that can lead to more things going right. Like success breeds success. You get a little win here, and you've got the energy and the, inspiration to go get another win, and then another win, and before long, you're winning. It piles on. For me personally, and you said something that really resonated with me. It's, when you're depressed, the thing you need to get out of depression is the thing that you find hardest to do at the moment. Yes. If I'm down, seriously down, then like shucks, all I want is lay in bed and be nothing.
Sleep at 12 o'clock.
Sleep in. And none of these things bring you happiness. You think it's nice. It sounds nice to sleep in all day, doesn't it? It's not. It's dreadful. It's a really unhappy existence. It's solitary confinement, self-imposed. For me, getting outside, soaking up some sunlight, spending time with people, family, whatever. Actually, family, they happen to be people as well. Spending time outside and doing my thing makes me feel good and makes me feel happy. So the formula is different for everybody. But I think what's in common is that thing that you're not getting is the thing that is hardest for you to go get when you're down like that. Whether it be, in your case, people interaction, or in my case, just getting outside and doing something. It's like, it's hard to explain that, like, the self-imposed door that's in front of you, and you just say, like, I can't do this. I don't want to go do what would make me happy. But there it is.
Yeah, pretty much it. And like even like selling this truck. If this truck gets sold, that's going to make my life that much better. Because one, I found another alternative of money. Like beforehand, I would live off 100% off of YouTube ad space. Mm-hmm. And now that I know, I found like, the imposed ads that I've been doing in my video. Some people might not like them. Some people don't care about them.
You're talking about the Gorilla Link stuff.
The Gorilla Link stuff. And
did you do one recently on?
I've done 3 recently this week.
Okay.
But those allow me to be out the house more because I don't have to put as many videos up because the videos pay more. And this allows me to do the walks. This allows me to go interact with people. And on top of that, interacting with people and making those kind of videos, even though they might come around less, could end up turning my channel around and get the subscriber count going back up from, what is it now, 70 a day or something like that. Uh-huh. It could get it back up to where it was at. Open doors in my life. I mean, you just look. I don't know.
So things are starting to fall back into place for you.
Hopefully. I mean, I'm not going to say that. Oh yeah, I'm recovered and I'm going to be this juggernaut. No, I'm saying that right now in my life, I'm content, I'm happy, and things are looking up.
That's awesome.
Does selling the truck make you sad at all? I mean,
it does. It did make me sad. I even made a video of it. It's actually on my phone. I don't know if you can. I'm not going to show it. Uh-huh. It was basically where I sat on the porch. I had my 2 cows that I usually ride in the truck, and I had them like on a puppet show talking about how sad I was.
That sounds creepy.
Well, it's just one of those things where I shot because I felt upset. Like, I'm about to cry right now thinking about it because in a way I feel like I failed. But in another way, I feel like I've learned a lesson.
Yeah, because getting the truck felt like success.
It did. It was a life goal. It was one of my goals in life was to buy a new vehicle. But at the same time, this is the first time I've ever agreed to do something that I couldn't do. And like that really hurt me as a person. But at the same time, I'm so happy that I'm getting rid of it that, my whole life isn't going to be filled with bill collectors and, people blowing my phone up. And I won't have like this tarnished, shameful imprint on some piece of paper somewhere down the road that, you agreed to do something, you couldn't do it.
I remember I was talking to you, this is probably like a year ago, and I was like, at some point you don't own the stuff you own. That stuff owns you. It just sort of haunts you. And
glad you said that, because I said that in the video itself.
Yeah?
And I'm like...
You disagreed. You're like, I own my truck. It doesn't own me. But it's like from the outside, it looks like it does.
Yeah, but there's a difference when, at that point, that Wings was making a lot more money. That Wings, the truck payment was just a chip off the old block. It's like, whatever. Here's my gold brick.
Now you're Kyle.
And now
shave a little off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was that.
That's the future I want to live in. I want to go back to the gold standard, and I would walk around. You would walk around with like a slither of gold, like a little bar. And when you paid somebody, you get out a little knife and you slither off a little piece.
Not even a slither. You just keep a brick in a backpack, right?
You wouldn't need much. You just need
But you got a ball, baby.
Like if you're rolling out with a whole brick, you are a baller. You You just
But,
need a little chunk.
Yeah, but it wasn't that big a deal. But as you know, like the YouTube money slowly receded, it became a bigger deal. And it's like, I might have fucked up, dude, something serious.
Stuff like Gorilla Links that you're doing might be the future of YouTube. Like so many people, YouTube is the most ad block site in the world, I read. And that means that YouTubers are not getting paid. And it's either going to recede into a world where like better videos and professional YouTubers just leave it, or YouTube will finally block ad block. I mean, I see sites that do that. It looks like you're running ad block. You can't.
I thought I heard YouTube is actually looking into starting to block it on their site.
If they did, it'd be world changing for the content producers.
Dude,
That would be awesome.
It would hurt their views, though.
Doesn't matter; those aren't views.
I look at it like this: like my channel is basically been the same channel from 2009 to now. I get around the same views I've always gotten, but the only difference between 2009 and 2013 is a big percentage of the viewers have quit watching it from their personal PC and got on a smartphone or a tablet or some sort, or a game console. And like the more people that do go that route, you lose money because you don't get paid for them now. Like if I got paid for every view I got on like a 40,000 view video, I would still be that guy chipping that gold brick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just like that. But you know, ad block's a pain, dude. It really, really, really. Just look at how many YouTubers fell off when Machinima, started pulling the Google money. Like how many disappeared? 3, 4, maybe 5 guys instantly.
Yeah, it's interesting. I wonder what's going to happen in the long term.
It's probably going to be stuff like Gorilla Links. I mean, because if all these people are running ad block, and it's not just YouTube, but like all these gaming news sites, like Destructoid and Kotaku is under the umbrella of Gawker Media, but all these gaming news sites, a lot of them aren't able to turn a profit because so many people just have ad block on universally. And I mean, the selfishness of just doing that is a separate topic, but the market will react to that because now people are riding high. Oh yeah, ad block. I'm consuming content, and no ads are playing. Yeah. Well, the advertisements the market's going to correct, and now more and more of the advertisements are going to be native to the content that you watch. They're not going to be a separate little video that plays. They're going to be this commentary, this video brought to you by whatever.
So I have ad block on, and it sounds hypocritical, right, for me to fuss about it. But it was because I needed to check my own stuff. Like, what would happen? For example, let's say I'm streaming and I get DDoSed. I'd have to watch a 30-second ad before I knew if I was back up or not. And this happened on both YouTube and on Twitch. And that was actually the reason that I first got ad block. It was like, I need to not see ads on my own stuff so I can tell if it's better. And now I've started disabling ads on, the sites that I go to a lot, like Reddit, for example. I watch the ads. There's a bunch of sites, actually, where I've turned ads back on to support the content producers. I just need ad block off on my stuff because I don't want to be watching. Sometimes the ads are long, like 60 seconds or more.
Mm-hmm.
I can't sit here saying mic check, mic check, mic check for a minute while, everyone else is, wait, and I'm like, oh, here it is, the ad's done. I was live all this time, putting on a really terrible show.
I look at it like this, though. Like, what if, we all had our experience with DDoSing and live streaming.
I'm familiar with it, yes.
What happens if everybody that goes to watch your live streaming gets DDoSed and they have to watch that intro ad, decide they don't want to watch that intro ad no more. They want to get right back to the stream. And now all of a sudden you have 6 out of 10 people no longer giving you any kind of,
I once did a video. It was a 9-hour long live stream, and my wife and I assembled a PC. And for whatever reason, the live stream was really popular. And it was just a guy and his wife putting a PC together, kind of stumbling through it, figuring it out. I hadn't put a PC together for like a decade prior to that, and a lot of things had changed. And we got DDoS so many times, like every 5 minutes, the stream would come down and back up. it got so much. Like I get a little stressed when I get DDoS sometimes. I got DDoS so many times that day. The stress was gone. I was just totally over it. It was like, it's down. It'll come back up when they stop. You know, they only DDoS for like a minute. They knock you off and then it comes back up. Anyway, it was so long, 9 hours, and it had so much DDoSing, like every 5 minutes, that live stream, people watching an ad every 5 minutes for 9 hours, pretty much paid for that PC. It was so profitable. Those DDoSers made me so much money. And it's not what I wanted, right? Like product first, right? If the product, which in this case is a video, is good, then the rest of it will take care of itself. But that particular stream made a bunch of money because it just kept, every 5 minutes another ad was run. And it was popular for some reason.
Yeah, that would be nice.
That's what I always tell the DDoSers when they do me. I'm like, if you want to DDoS me, fine. I just want to let you know that every time these 500 or so people come back in, they're watching an ad, and you're doing nothing but helping.
Yeah, I don't want to be DDoSed.
I mean, I'm getting all the benefits of streaming and none of the downsides because they can't watch me play because you're DOSing me for like 5 minutes. So the game's over with, and they get to come back to the ad.
Yeah, on the Twitch stuff, I don't even run ads. Like Lefty and I talked about it afterwards. It was like, I don't know. I don't need to run ads. I just want the product to be great. You know, if the stream's good, we work every day on making the stream better. You know, during the day we're like brainstorming. We're coming up with new backgrounds, new pictures. We've got the quad stream now, so you can see us from all our 4 perspectives.
Oh, that's
at the
cool.
Same
That's
time.
Too much Minecraft, Woody. Play COD, you jerk.
I am clearly a jerk for that.
How dare you? How
I'm going to
dare
talk to
you?
Woody now with the COD. Like,
How dare you?
the Woody for the last couple of years was really, really, really about the Call of Duty.
I was.
I think you finally got to the point where a lot of us have been because you didn't really play it as much as some other people.
Yeah, I mean, not as much as you. It's hard to compete with you, but I played COD for real. You know, I played it when people weren't looking. I probably averaged like 10 to 12 days in game every year, sometimes 16. Like I'd have to look at my stats, but that's what my memory tells me. I want to say COD 4 is the highest. I played that for like 2 years. But yeah, I played a lot of COD. I liked COD. I felt like I liked COD when everyone else stopped liking it. And this time of year, every year, I stick my head out of the rabbit hole and say, what else is out there? And I guess some of my subs don't because they're fussing a ton. You know, they're mad. But you know, I almost want to come back and be like, dude, really? The new COD comes out in 2 months. Try another game. You know, give it a shot. Go to WoodyCraft.net. Play some Minecraft. Everybody hates it until they try it. That's 100%. You know, this is the stupidest thing in the world. Oh, look, this game is a lot deeper than I thought it was.
You know what game you should try out if you're looking for something new? Fairway Solitaire, available for your iPhone or iPad. Go check it out. Download it. It's free.
Good point.
It's fun.
Well done, Lefty. Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, like, look, I'm not immune to it. I've seen the guys fussing, but I'm enjoying myself so much, and there's definitely a lot of people that enjoy it too. It's good. And come November, you know, I'll be playing. I'll be interested in the next COD. But dude, I'm gonna call it September because tomorrow's September. It's September. Try another game. You've been playing Black Ops for 10 months now.
Oh, I'm all about another game.
Grand Theft Auto 5 is
the game I'm about is Fallout 4. People are like, Grand Theft Auto 5, Grand Theft Auto 5. I was never into the Grand Theft Auto series. I mean, some reason it just didn't appeal to me. I think the last one I played was Vice City on the PS2.
That's a good game.
That one was fun. I mean, I enjoyed
Vice
it.
City on the PS2.
What do you say?
What was before Vice City? Or maybe I'm thinking...
Grand Theft Auto
3. 3 was just okay. Vice City, in my opinion, is the best Grand Theft Auto game they've made.
I think I played one on the PS2 a ton. I think it might have been Vice City.
It's the one that's sort of like Scarface style, like, you know, in that time period, the fashion, the cars, everything.
Yeah, but like it was all right. I liked it, and I think I played another game just like it called Red Dead Redemption. You know, it's kind of like a Grand Theft Auto, and that was okay too.
It's I don't know if you could say that. Red Dead Redemption is a good game though.
Yeah, but I just don't get excited for those games. Like if Fallout 4 dropped tomorrow, I would be in line right now waiting on it.
I mentioned Grand Theft Auto being a game that just wasn't on the level of COD, and someone left a respectful comment on my video saying, like, Woody, I think you underestimate the interest in Grand Theft Auto. Like, it is a game that gets bigger every year, and I think that guy who, thank you for respectfully voicing your opinion, was right. I think that guy, I think I did underestimate the interest that people have in GTA, and that I wonder how big it's going to get. If it gets bigger every year, how long will this northeast trend continue?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I understand there's a huge following for it, but with me, I like to be true to myself. I mean, I don't desire to play the game, and if I play the game, I like to buy it like a $30.
Well, I think we're both
at a $30 discount.
Where we haven't given the game a shot lately. I don't feel like I'd be untrue to myself if I played GTA. I think I'd be saying, there's a lot of interest around this game. Maybe I'm missing something. I pick movies a lot like that. Look at this. Everyone's talking about Hunger Games. Maybe I should check this thing out. I'm not being untrue to myself. I'm just there's this thing out there that everyone says is great. Let's go look.
Yeah.
Yeah. You use public opinion as a barometer.
Yeah. I don't have to be I'm not going to look at that.
But Wings is right. The game that I am looking forward to most of all games is Fallout 4.
Mm-hmm.
When's that drop?
They won't even.
They haven't even announced it yet.
They won't admit they're making it.
Yeah, it's
it's a secret project that they've started working on as soon as they finish Skyrim, but they won't tell us what it is.
It's under tighter wraps than the NSA spying program. We know more about
the
NSA
Snowden
spying program
in Bethesda.
There you go.
We want Snowden in Bethesda.
Yes.
That's what we need.
Now, Kyle, let me ask you this: what dollar amount would be the maximum dollar amount you would pay for Fallout 4 right now?
Right now?
Let's just say as a casual fan who's just going to play it and not make videos of it or anything like that, I'd pay $500 easily. Maybe $750. Maybe $750.
They could come out tomorrow and say it's going to be $500, and I would have to put serious thought about just dropping it.
Yeah, you'd have to. And people think that's insane, but Fallout's the kind of game that you put 100 hours into it, and then you just make another character, and you put another 100 hours into it.
And think about that. That's the kind of, the bang for your entertainment dollar is the best in the video game world.
I used to talk about that for COD a lot. So I pay $120 a year or is it? I think it's $110 a year. It's $60 for the game and $50 for the subscription for COD. And the amount of time I get out of COD, when I buy a BioShock, for example, I know that that's an expensive purchase. Even though the game is $60, I'm going to play that through. I'm going to get, I don't know, I'll make a number up, 8 hours from it. And then that's it. It's, what is that, $8 an hour, roughly?
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. That is what we do with games like
BioShock.
The BioShock Infinite. I was like, I beat it, and now it's going to sit over there. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at you, you motherfucker. $8 an hour. That's what you cost.
Yeah, $8 an hour. COD is way cheaper per hour than most games, and I'm not a Fallout guy, although I'm told that I'm missing out. Not just by you guys, but my subscribers and such are saying Fallout is amazing. Woody, you're missing it. But Fallout sounds like it's a good value per dollar too.
Dude, it took me 2 years
to time into.
The thing, there's lots of side quests in Fallout. You can beat the main story in maybe an hour or two.
Wow, that's fast.
If you're playing straight through it and you know what to do. But Fallout's one of those games where it's easy to get lost. But there's no punishment for getting lost.
That's the fun.
And that's the fun. So it's easy to get turned around in a cave and go to the wrong side of it and run into a bunch of scorpions and they just eat you alive. But that's acceptable because, what the fuck are you going to do? You get lost in a cave. But it's also very possible that you went the wrong way trying to cross a mountain range and you found a cave and there's 3,000 caps and some unique rifle and, a really unique
cool
story.
scene.
And a bunch of death claws, and you're a low-level character.
And you're dead. And you're dead. You know what my favorite thing about Fallout is? And I don't think I'm giving away anything that people don't already know. But I didn't know this. The vault tech systems were never designed to save anyone.
They were buying a social experiment.
They were social experiments, those sick motherfuckers. They did weird shit
right.
to them in the vaults. So, like, there was one vault that was 1,000 women and one man. Like, they just wanted to see what the fuck would happen. And you're not in there for a year or two. It's for, like, 200 years you're in the vault, you know. One of the vaults was, like...
I don't understand. Can you help us non-Fallout guys? Like, so you
okay, I'm very sorry. All right. So there was a nuclear war. Briefly, there was a massive nuclear war, and this company called Vault Tech, in conjunction with the United States, built all of these underground facilities, living facilities, that they sold to the public as shelters. They sold a lot of them for a lot of money, and then after that, they selected people from sort of a lottery or something, and they selected the kind of candidates they wanted for their social experiment. They didn't think there would actually be a nuclear war. So this whole thing was just for shits and giggles. It was literally a social experiment. The joke was on them, though, because there was a nuclear war. So these social experiments that they might have ended after 20 years just kept going forever. So there was a vault that had 10 women, 20 men, and 1 panther. And then they locked the doors. There was another vault where they thought to keep from dying, I don't remember the exact specifics, but to keep everyone in the vault from dying, the overseer, who's the guy who was in charge, a voluntary position, had to die, had to be sacrificed every so often. It got down to 5 people, and they all decided, they're like, fuck it, we're not going to kill anybody else. And nothing happened when the timer ran out. So they all just went crazy and shot each other.
Yeah, there's the cloning lab one.
Yeah. Gary.
Yeah.
There was one.
Oh, great! Wings and Kyle just shared a Fallout joke.
There was one vault. No, there was one
An
vault
inside joke.
where it was nothing but clones of a man named Gary. So this man lived with his clones for eternity, and there was no way to procreate, of course, but there was a cloning machine. So when they needed a new Gary, they made one.
So it's like Multiplicity with Michael Keaton.
Yeah, there was one where all of the vault dwellers, you know, maybe I don't know how many it was, maybe 1,000. All of them were under the age of 15, and the weapons lockers were full of extra powerful weapons, and there were no locks.
Yeah, there's also the one where they implemented sounds while people were sleeping during the entire time they were there. Just to see how it would affect their minds.
One of the lots of really fun stuff like that. It's like just sick experiments, and there's this huge backstory. And so when you, as your character, are exploring the Capital Wasteland or the Mojave Desert or whatever game you're playing, Fallout 3 or New Vegas, you'll occasionally stumble upon one of these vaults. And you can go inside of it, and you kind of follow a trail of handwritten notes, computer log entries, you know, and stuff like that, and clues, really, to patch together these stories that we're talking about with these social experiments. And then at the, you know, it's like a dungeon, really. So as you fight lower and lower, you're fighting bigger and badder bad guys, and then at the end, there's usually some treasure in the form of a unique weapon or some armor or something.
Sitting here wishing we were talking about microphones.
Yeah, fuck you, man. Dude, I don't know why everyone's not so. I don't know why everyone's not as passionate about Fallout as I am.
If you haven't played Fallout, you are doing yourself an injustice.
My character's criticals are insane.
Is it time for the Wings Redemption lightning round?
I don't have any questions prepared.
Neither do I. Come up with them every week.
Dude,
I bet there's a thing on. I think they come up with them on Reddit.
I bet you I can answer every Fallout question you can ask.
No, it's not a lightning round. That's not how lightning round works. So Lefty, Kyle,
yes.
Are we all starting at 0 this week?
Yeah, we are.
Get your pen and paper or notepad or whatever it is that you like to do your questions on.
I love the critical build, dude. I always play the critical build.
Wings.
My luck is 9, and then I put my luck is 9.
You get the 9 luck. You get the better criticals perk. You get the finesse perk. Get the lucky 8 ball.
You bastards! I'll end the show.
Wild card.
You put Boone's beret on. Boone's beret.
I can't ever take it off. Like I get other hats, and I'm like, this hat isn't as cool.
I've got an awesome question. I just hit pay dirt in my first one.
And yes, I would rather Tomahawk cruise missile Monica Lewinsky's blue dress than Syria.
What?
You know, you made a joke earlier that Obama needs to cheat on Michelle.
Oh yeah.
I just find it odd that these people are like Syria's chemical weapon threat, dude. It's not a threat, at least not to me. I mean, like they're not gonna hit South Carolina with a chemical weapon.
They're coming to Conway.
Yeah, they're gonna blow Conway right off the fucking map. The military strategic point that known as Conway, South Carolina. We have 3 rivers and tons of swamps.
How many questions do you have, Lefty?
I have none. I can't think of anything remotely funny to ask Wings.
Kyle, how many questions do you have?
I just got back with my pen and paper.
I think we should.
Bitches.
So what we need here is while we come up with these questions, there needs to be something else going on, and I'm not quite sure what that is just yet, but maybe something that we could think of off the top of our heads or something like that. But some easy topic, something needs to be going on right now.
What's a phrase that annoys you?
Well, I don't like non-word words like
YOLO.
Like co-conspirator, or what's the one that's like irregardless. I don't like that. I don't like that. Like those are non-word words, and I'm sorry if you don't know why those are non-word words. And American English is your first language, you should look into
I
it.
think Kyle doesn't really like my videos, and he's lying to me.
I like your videos because you don't follow the path that I just described.
I do. I use irregardless all the time, even though I understand the word irrelevant is actually in the English language.
I'm looking it up in the dictionary.
Let's see.
Irregardless appears to be a word that was started in the 1920s. And I think it might be considered a legit word now.
And I also know how. So a lot of people always mess up on the theirs, and I know how the English works. There is like there is, and then there are, and there. I mean, I understand the concept of it, but guess what? I'm too fucking lazy to type out whatever proper there is every time I'm on a tweet, especially if I'm about 5 tweets in.
I'm thinking.
I'm always very careful with that sort of thing because people pick you apart. The first, if you're going to be a stickler and spell your right, no matter what your meaning is, then you can't mess up a there. You better be THEIR in it. You better get your apostrophe in place.
I mean, seriously. I mean, I just don't understand people who try to nitpick over the internet. It's not. I'm not writing a paper to my congressman or like submitting a thesis.
I love people that nitpick over the internet. I feel like they're raising the English proficiency.
I'm a big grammar Nazi. I'm sorry.
I don't.
I know Lefty doesn't like me claiming to be any kind of a Nazi
Yeah.
because I don't.
I thought we were going to get through one. I thought we could get through one show.
I don't have my tattoos yet,
and you'll never get him with that attitude.
Like an apostrophe on his neck to be a proper grammar Nazi. No, I'm the only one that thought that was funny.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's true.
I have 2 questions.
I have 2.
I have one. It's a pretty good one though.
My
I
first
got one
one
for all
I
of
love.
you. You've been put in timeout by your girlfriend?
No.
No, that's a thing.
Lefty isn't speaking up.
What's that?
No, the only kind of relationship that you can have is a very respectful one, where no one would ever have the power to put anyone in a timeout. Headlock, maybe. That's different. My jiu-jitsu instructor showed us how to turn like one of those schoolyard headlocks into an armbar the other day. It was really cool.
Really?
You stick your finger up the ass, right?
No, there's a no. you shift to the side and take them down really quick. You just grab the back of their knee and lean backwards, and they're down, and you just step over their head. It's incredible. You can't describe it really.
We do the takedown, and then at the end of the takedown we have the arm, but we didn't really drill it to armbar completion.
It's kind of after class he teaches us dirty stuff like that. He's like, now that takedown that we've been training for 3 classes, all you got to do is put your head into their chin and just keep pressing on the way down, and you'll smash them.
He's like, sounds like that. Oh my god, they call it asshole jitsu or asshole jiu-jitsu or something like that, and they have a nasty like variation on everything. They're like, when you're doing this, be sure to put that elbow in there. What's the middle called? The solar flex?
Yeah,
If you're watching this show right now, give yourself a hard knuckle rub right here in the rib cage. It's really unpleasant. Like doctors do it in the ER to see if you're like if you'll respond to it, like as a consciousness test, because it's really painful, but it's not that damaging. And in jits, we just work the elbows, work the chin. They give them the ugly face on this and that. Like every move they do in Joe Lozon's gym, they tweak to make it as unpleasant for the victim as possible.
Yeah.
So what is this like? If you actually get to a street fight, not a structured fighting match, this is what you should do instead of what I've been teaching you.
No, they do this.
Sometimes
all the time. It's not a hypothetical. Like they're like, if you're not, and I line up with that line of thinking. I like asshole jiu-jitsu. I feel like if you're doing some sort of gentle variation of fighting on me, it's like, what? I don't deserve your A game. Where's the effort in this? Where's the tweak? But other people don't like it. I had a guy. I choked him out with this guillotine variation, and it was an Ezekiel. You probably don't know what that is, but it's anyway, he complained 2 days later that his throat still hurt, and I was like, sounds like you didn't tap quick enough.
Hey, so all right, so what you're describing, what I'm describing, I think are different. So my guy shows us things after class. He's like, this is like street fight stuff that's not only illegal in MMA, but it'll hurt your training partner if you do it.
Okay.
It's like he's like, now with that arm bar, or with with most like shoulder hurting techniques. He's a Kimura. He's like, now we're just doing it like this. When it hurts, you tap. He's like, but in a street fight, you're gonna want to rip his shoulder. He's like, he's not gonna tap and then it's over. It's a fight. You gotta hurt him. The whole point of putting him in a Kimura is to tear his shoulder so that the fight's over. So pull the joint like this, and it's gonna be it's gonna be exposed more. It's gonna be easier to tear his shoulder down.
If all 3 of us are ever together, I'm gonna talk massive amounts of shit to somebody. I'm gonna be that.
We're gonna leave you hanging. We're just gonna be like, we're not with that guy. I don't know.
How many questions you got, Lefty?
I have 3.
I have 3. Kyle?
I have 3.
Are we good to go, or do we want to do 4?
I'm good to go. These are the bottom of the barrel here, question-wise. All
right.
My mind was just not helping.
Do we switch people each question, or do we finish a list and move on?
I like that. Let's switch people.
Let's machine gun this shit. Come on.
All right, Lefty, you first, me second.
Wings, did you take your guns out of the truck you're selling?
Yes, I did.
All right.
Wings of Redemption. Explain why black people sometimes wear crazy tuxedos to their prom.
What? What are you talking about?
Lightning round.
Kyle, please go.
No, that's not how the lightning round works. Wings, bring it.
Well, black people generally like to be flamboyant. That's why they like to spike footballs in the end zone. I don't know why they wear crazy stuff to the prom. I mean, I've never actually seen this because I didn't go to prom.
All right, Kyle.
Who was your childhood hero?
My childhood hero? Same person that's my hero now, Carl Sagan.
Who's Carl Sagan? All right, I like that.
Lefty.
How much money would it have taken for you to put that POV video on Pornhub?
Oh, shit. 35 grand?
35. Oh, come
He
on.
suck a dick before he put that video on? That's a lie.
Well, I'm just saying,
That's
I
a lie.
got a little bit more respect because somebody else is actually in it, and you can't really see
With
me,
her face edited out. With her face edited out.
Oh, man, that's a lot cheaper. That's like 5 grand.
All right, OB.
I was talking about unedited. I mean, like, I respect her, but, an extra 10 grand or 20 grand might change my opinion.
This is coincidental, I swear I have it written down. If you had 5 grand to blow, what would you buy?
5 grand to blow, and what would I buy? Right now?
Yeah.
I would probably reinvest in my desk, and I'd probably upgrade my computer.
All right. Kyle, question 2.
What's the most cash you've ever seen, and what was the scenario?
Most cash I've ever seen, and what was the scenario? The most cash I've ever seen at one time was $1.5 million. And what it was is it was the payout. Indian fella bought it in cash, my aunt's store, and I was there on hand to be a witness.
Damn.
Okay, that's a really, really good answer.
Cash?
Yeah.
He paid in cash.
Wow. Wings, what is something you know now that you wish you didn't?
Don't buy anything with money that you hope to make.
All right. What is the number one attribute you look for in a wife?
Being able to cook.
Kyle, last question.
Have you ever smoked marijuana? And if not, why not?
I've never smoked marijuana, and it goes for the same reason. Why? Because I have a very addictive personality. I don't like to drink. I don't like to do a lot of things because, one, it runs in my nature. My father was an alcoholic. And marijuana is another drug that can be very addictive, like smoking a cigarette or things of that nature. And I have an addictive personality, so I don't test myself on those things.
And I want to add to what Wing said. A lot of people might take issue with the fact that he said marijuana was addictive, because I don't think that marijuana is chemically addictive. Mm-hmm. But there is a socially addictive thing that exists in all sorts of stuff. You know, the internet is not chemically addictive, yet lots of people are addicted to it. Video games are not chemically addicted, yet lots of people are, suffer a kind of what they call a soft addiction. And I think it goes without argument that there are people who get into marijuana or pot or whatever you want to call it as a culture and a lifestyle and something that's beyond just like, a casual activity. It becomes
I didn't know it. I didn't know any of that mess, but I can say I've been addicted to Fallout. I've been addicted to Call of Duty, and I've been addicted to a few games in my life that, where when I start neglecting hygiene to play something, I consider it an addiction.
I actually see that point. I think a better way to put it, rather than that you have an addictive personality, is it's that when you find something that you're passionate about, you go at it full force, and it sort of becomes part of your life, regardless of
I got addicted to YouTube for about 2 years. Like, that's how those videos came out 3-4 times a day.
Yeah,
I enjoy doing it.
So while I think we're mostly right here. It's not a barbiturate. It's not something that you're going to become chemically dependent upon, and you're not going to get the shakes when you don't smoke a joint. But I think what Wings is saying is he would end up being a super stoner, and he would have. I think that'd be I'd like to see him in like some.
He would have some awesome things to say.
He would have some awesome things. I'm picturing this now, and I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot.
Wings doing videos with like just while he's rolling up a blunt.
What do you think I would say? Like, how do you got me picture? Would I be like come up with these creative ideas or like these monsters?
You would be a little bit like Drunk Wings, because it's a similar feeling, I guess. You would be a little bit like Drunk Wings, but you wouldn't be as sleepy and as like slurring of your speech. You'd just be more uninhibited.
Drunk Wings either wants to go to sleep or wants to fuck.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that so much. We wouldn't want to do those things as much as you just want to chill out and talk about some stuff that had really been on your mind, and that's what's entertaining, to be honest. When you start talking about stuff that's been on your mind, that is good stuff. I'm a big proponent of the Wings of Redemption reality show.
Have I told you about my latest invention?
No, please.
What did you invent?
I haven't invented it. I come up with the idea for it.
I'm listening.
All right, those little cards that they write up, they have in like that you can like swipe and you put in a 3.5 millimeter jack.
A card that you swipe.
Yes. The swipe thing that you can plug in your phone.
It's like a credit card machine for like a small business. You use your smartphone as the credit card machine.
Okay.
It's the card reader that plugs into your smartphone.
Right. Why somebody make an infrared, like like beam laser, like they do on a TV remote, and have it go into your smartphone with a 3.5 millimeter jack, and have an app that you can program your smartphone to act as a remote control for every device in your house.
Unfortunately, that has already happened, and my dad's phone does that.
Only Androids do it. Like iPhones can't do it. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not jump on that market?
Oh, that just sounds like a feature they should throw on the 5S. But yeah, that's a really cool feature, and I didn't even bother programming it because my dad's not so technologically savvy. But I was like, I showed him like the basics, like how Google and YouTube and all the map features work, and then I was like, now look, if you ever get really comfortable with this thing, we'll turn it into a remote control that'll operate everything inside your home. He's like, nah, I'm good. Put a few switches.
This is a while ago. Do you guys remember X10?
No.
X10 was really well known because they were the first company to do pop-up ads, and they really hated them. But Yahoo let them run it, so they would literally do pop-up ads and pop under ads, which would open a new browser behind your browser. So you'd have these windows that you'd catch like later on, like, damn, I was running this all that time. Anyway, what they sold was home automation stuff, and you replaced all your light switches and receptacles and things with pretty much remote controlled light switches and remote controlled receptacles. Then whatever lamp you plugged into that receptacle, you just use that for. Or whatever light was controlled by that switch, you could now control it from other places. And I would have like programmable stuff all over my house. This one here, I'd like the hallway lights. If they were on for more than 15 minutes, I'd turn them off, just because I was like, no one's in the hallway for 15 minutes at a time, and therefore at 15 minutes after you turn it on, turning that thing back off on you. Turns out, my wife does the laundry in that hallway, and that was a little bit of a thing. But I ended up hating it. I ended up thinking, you know what? Regular switches are way better. There's some features that they're missing, but the switches themselves seem junky, and they didn't press nicely. And
so, I'll say this. This in my guest bedroom, where I have set up my gaming setup, I have a ceiling fan, it's a standard ceiling fan with 3 light bulbs on it, and there's a light switch on the wall that one operates the light portion, one operates the fan portion. But the difference is there is a remote control for this thing. And I don't think that's a new thing, having a remote control for your fan or your light. Right. But it's such an awesome convenience that I've never even, I don't have it in my bedroom, but I've got it in this guest bedroom, and I'm just like, I love being able to, at the press of a button without getting up from where I'm sitting.
That's what the boot strings.
Wings is like, I see your remote control, and I raise you a boot string.
See, I got to make marks. Like this one right here turns the fan on. That's got the knot. And the straight one is the actual light. So I went up a step in my evolution.
That's ridiculous. All right, fair enough. Now, one thing the remote control does have is it's got the numbers 1 through 3, so you don't have to play that Morse code fan chain pulling game.
Right. I actually have one of those remote controls if you want to see it.
Sure.
Yeah.
And every now and then you run across that one fan that has 4 speeds, so now your Morse code game gets all thrown off. You're like, 1, 2, 3, off. Wait, high speed? What the fuck?
I can probably 4 times out of 5 look at the blades and correctly identify the speed and then do the math. Oh, there's Wings. Let me see.
Yeah, there's their remote.
That'll do the trick right there. It's well labeled. Mine's not as nice, I don't think. Let me look.
Remote talk.
No.
Remote talk's good.
Mine's in the same class, actually. I'll just leave it on the little screen. But it has the 3 speeds, and the top and bottom are light and fan auto.
I think I have the same brand, but a different remote.
I'm going to show you something. Like, this right here is a pile of shit. It's Platinum Plus by Sunpack.
What is that?
It's a tripod, but...
Oh, okay.
Like, it broke on me. I was adjusting it like this, and it popped off like a Coke can. It broke. There's like plastic inside of it.
Yeah. You know what? I've had the exact same thing happen. I don't know if it was that type of tripod, but I've had the exact same thing. I think that happens when you've got it tight, like the adjustment too tight, and then you try to use that lever to do stuff.
Why don't they make that metal? I paid $120 for this thing. That should be metal.
I did too. So I've bought a lot of tripods. I'm hard on them, And so I've had $65 tripods that work just fine, and then I've had like $240 tripods that, oh, this is a shitty story. So, all right, so I went to Best Buy, and I've got my pickup truck, and I'm like, I'm going to go TV shopping. I was like, I want a big-ass TV. So I went to Best Buy, and I got the biggest TV that they made, and it was like 72 inches, I think. So this thing like fills my entire truck bed. It's a full-size truck bed. And, you know, it's in the cardboard box and everything. So I get it in there, and to get it in there, I had to take my tripod out. So, you know, it's a tripod. So why lay it on the ground where somebody could step on it? I set the thing up. $275 tripod, something like that. I set the tripod up. It's sitting there. Get the TV in, close the tailgate. I'm like, finally, let's go hook this motherfucker up. Get home, hook it up. Everything's great. And I'm like, wait a minute. I didn't put the fucking tripod back in the truck. I left it. I left that tripod at Best Buy. Some amateur filmmaker has my really nice tripod right now, and he is using it.
I have a pretty nice tripod. The one I use most of the time. The tripod itself was like $110, and it came with a head that was so-so. And then I bought a new head for it, the thing that Wings had in his hand. And I think the head was like $210. And I kind of wish I had a slightly better head. Because if people don't know, on the high-end heads, when you move them, it gives a fluid movement. And on the low-end heads, when you move them, it kind of jerks. Mm-hmm. And you can almost like overcorrect and then turn it back to what you meant to hit as you like break it free from stillness to movement. And I want something that's nice. Something where if I grab that thing and turn it, it gives a fluid pan. Because, like, for example, just recently, I shot some watermelons with explosives in them. And as you want to have the thing on a tripod so it's not a bouncy, stupid shot, but then you might want to pan up and follow the smoke from the explosion. And you don't want that pan up to be a crappy, jerky, like, hard to steer thing. And we used 2 cameras on that shoot, and I wish I'd had 2 tripods. And that might be something I'd get with my $500 gift card. YouTube just gave me $500.
So I could actually just buy a replacement head and go on my tripod.
Let me see where it broke.
It broke right here, and like the teeth broke out of this. Like the bottom of the tripod's fine.
Yeah, the tripod itself. Here, hold on a second. I'll show you.
Tripod talk. Not as fun as remote talk. I'm gonna be honest.
No,
I got a remote for my air conditioner unit.
Oh, wait a minute. That's a Whirlpool.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the Cadillac of remote.
Not an official Painkiller already sponsor by any means.
But you know who is? Fairway Solitaire, available for your iPhone or iPad device, also on Android. Go ahead and check
100% free. And, like, look here. First round.
Well, I'd like to say to the makers of the game, I think we should be, I think our versions of the game should have some special features. That's all. I'm just throwing it out there.
I want money in the game. You know, I see you charging people for the 9 wedges or whatever. You gotta hook me up with some 9 wedges in this game, baby.
9 iron.
9 iron.
Yeah, I'm not really a golfer.
No, he's got 9 different wedges. No,
I'm saving golfing for my old age. So, Wings, your tripod at the top has like a little threaded stud coming out of it.
It does, yes.
That stud is standard, and you can buy like just about every new head you buy is gonna have that same size thread.
I love that you then. It looks like you're just a roaming. Like production team. Like I love you reach to your left and you've got a tripod, and to your right, Matt's there's the coolest looking tripod head I think I've ever seen. And you're just like, oh, and then you'd have one of these.
Well, I went ahead and bought this. I went ahead and bought another tripod, but I'm like, it would be sweet if I had a second standby tripod. So because when that one broke on me, I had to hold the freaking camera.
I'll tell you what you need.
I see you're doing multi-camera shots all the time now, right?
Yeah, I like to do multi-camera. I do. Like
Wings, you've got a DSLR, right?
No, I have a Rebel 4i.
Okay.
That is a DSLR.
Yeah. So I have a camera rig that I will totally let you borrow just so I can see it in your videos. It's one of those things that like attaches to your body, and it's got handles that you hold out in front. I've got 2 of them, but it would be really funny.
Rig.
Yeah, it'd be really funny to see Bastard Brooke with this thing strapped to him. It doesn't. I've got 2 of them. I've got one that's got the floating weights in it and everything, and it's literally like you wear a full bodysuit the thing's attached to. You can't borrow that one, but you can borrow the DSLR mount it goes around your shoulder, and there's like 2 handles. It's a Steadicam rig, and I want to see Bastard Brooke wearing it because it's bright blue and it'd be funny as fuck.
I got a DSLR question. Like the DSLR from what I didn't understand at the time, is it comes with a remote control, and the Rebel 4i doesn't. You guys hear?
Yeah, I hear you. I'm thinking. So you think your DSLR was supposed to come with a remote? I don't think so.
I've seen remotes being sold for the DSLR.
Oh, yeah. You can buy remotes for the DSLR. You can actually, your iPhone can control them in many cases.
Is there any way I can get a remote-like thing for the Rebel T4i?
What am I thinking?
Cell phone might do it. Back to remote talk. Full circle, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm just asking because
I've got it. Wait, hold on.
Because there's many a times I would like to turn the camera on instead of walk across the yard and turn it on.
Just cut that, dude. Just cut it.
Well, normally I would just cut it. Just do the clap with the hands and just clap.
No. I mean, walk up, turn the camera on, walk back to your mark, and then decide in your mind this is the beginning. Be like, hey guys, Jordy here, and today we're going to do this.
Yeah, but when I'm by myself, I got to do 2 cameras that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you just sync them with a clap, and then you just go, and you don't have to go back and stop the cameras every time. Just run 2 long takes. That way, they're easy to sync up, and go in there and cut out the beginnings. And if you feel like you stuttered or something, you don't have to start all over. Just fade it together. I kind of like that. I'm not talking about the really fast cuts that you see some people do, but just fades every now and then. That way it's like you always have a full head of steam. You got a full breath as you're talking.
I was actually thinking about
editing
Redneck Dolly.
I don't pretend to be a great editor, but typically crossfades are used when you want to say there's been some passage of time. Even if it's just a little. And jump cuts are used when there's been no passage of time.
Jump cuts some people jump cut their video on purpose.
Yeah. That's
style. Annoying looking.
Some people say it's annoying, but then I wonder what the non-jump cut version would look like. When I see
look like my videos,
like a Philip DeFranco video, for example, has jump cuts almost every 3 seconds or so. There's a jump cut.
I like it. I feel like I feel like at every jump cut he's spent the last 20 seconds thinking really hard about what he's about to say for the next 3 seconds. And those 3 seconds are his best 3 seconds, and he's charging up every time.
To me, it paces the video in a really good way. Like, if you didn't have jump cuts, it would be a guy kind of droning. And then every so often, it would be a guy who's collecting his thoughts. And every so often, it would be a guy who says, But with the jump cuts in there, it's just bam, bam, fact,
See, that's
fact,
the funny
thought,
thing.
And,
this is the funny thing, though. Like, if you do a commentary that's written out, it's a bad thing. But if you do a live video that's jump cut 3 minutes,
I don't feel like when someone like Philip DeFranco reads the news or his version of the news that it feels like he's reading. I feel like it feels more like a performance. It doesn't feel like someone who's going, I'm just going to read what's in front of me. Find match, private match, create a class barracks, private. He's not just droning on. He's really passionate about what he's saying, and it sounds good. I like the jump cuts.
You say the same thing with like a T Martin video though, because T Martin has that same conviction in his voice.
Yeah, but it's not jump cuts. It's it's a commentary. But all I was saying with your videos, I was just saying cut out the dead space.
Like with T Mart, you get a longer period, and it makes it feel like the idea he's trying to convey to me is more well thought out. Whereas, like, if T. Martin did his video, something like, "Hey guys, well, this is the Call of Duty trailer," and
well, it's a different format too. T. Mart, it's completely different. It's he's teaching you how to do something step by step, whereas Phil DeFranco's, the jump cuts are a big part of his transitions as well.
Well,
he's reading the news.
I did poor like gun here, alleyway, shoot. 3 seconds, that's what a T-Mart video would look like with jump cuts. I don't know. It doesn't matter. What we're going into.
Want to see my lunch?
What'd you get?
No one wants to see lunch.
We haven't got
I'm
lunch.
hungry.
We have melons, watermelons, tomato, and
You healthy bastard, get that out of
turkey
here.
sandwich delivered.
Philly cheesesteak or something.
I exist in this room working, whether it be system admin on the Minecraft thing, making videos, loving up subs, playing games. I'm here, and the Jackie periodically opens the door and feeds me like a caged tiger
Just throw stuff in.
See, right now you're her automated work machine. Like she puts food in and money comes out.
I wish Jackie would peek through the door and like wink and then disappear.
Wait, see, if you smoke pot, that kind of stuff would happen all the time.
Constantly.
It does happen all the time. I have no filter.
Yeah, I was gonna say it might be wasted on him.
I don't know. Maybe it would open the floodgates full mode. Like he would just be
open. I don't. Is there a higher level? That's what you suspect?
Yeah. Oh, totally. I think he'd get more racist. Not that he is racist. I just think he'd say more racist things.
Yeah, unfiltered like.
Yeah. I think, because he seems to feel like putting the word nigger on the backside of any other word makes it not racist anymore. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, no, it's racist no matter.
Well, it's like calling like somebody a Haji. Haji, that's one I always do by accident, and it's an accident.
No,
like, Haji was the guy from Johnny Quest, and
Haji
Indian.
was the guy from Johnny Quest who was Indian.
Yeah. So if I understand Wings right, Wings, help me out with this. Dropping the N-bomb is racist, right? Calling someone, forgive me, a nigga is
that's
a bad
racist
thing.
unless you're rapping.
But
unless you're rapping,
someone a sand nigga or a porch nigga.
No, you can't put the A on it.
What?
No, they're saying niggers. With the ER.
He was letting you know that you couldn't just have the A. He uses the R. That's the other thing.
Yeah, you can't hang hard. It's hanging a hard R.
There's two different things about Wings' accidental racism, if you will. The first thing is he doesn't say nigga. He says nigger.
No.
He hits that.
I use the A. If it slips, I use the A because that's what I grew up with.
I have heard this man say sand.
I just want to say, while we have this conversation, Ariana Aspen's ex-boyfriend gave me a hood pass, so I'm in the clear.
I happen to own the hood pass, so...
Yeah, Wings has got his own hood pass, but mine was granted to me by an official black person.
But you can't even remember his name. Look at him. He's like a deer in headlights. His name's Forrest.
Yeah, okay. No, I know his name. Yeah, he's a mod in my... It's funny, so I've been live streaming a lot lately, playing Minecraft, and my subs love it. And anyway, so I've been playing Minecraft a lot, and someone was like, I think his name in my Twitch is like Vern92 or something like that. And they're like, how'd you get to be a mod? I want to be a mod. How'd you get to be a mod? And he's like, he's like, I became a mod because I was having sex with an ex-porn star that was on Painkiller already. Try that. Like, oh, that's a tough one to pull off, but it was funny. So,
Did they really break up?
He called her his ex-girlfriend, yeah.
Oh. But she was carrying a kid, wasn't she? His kid?
She had his kid.
Oh. Okay.
Child support he'll be paying.
Wings over here. He loves it. He's so jolly about the concept of this other man paying child support.
I'm like sad when it works out like that. It's too bad their relationship.
Hey, I'm a firm believer that the free clinic gives 50 condom bags away.
Oh, Wings said there's Jimmy Hansen free, son. It's your fault.
It's your fault.
Terrible.
You could. No,
we just identified that you were friends with this man, and then Wings wasted no time.
Some people like if I had a kid and I had to pay child support because I couldn't deal with his mother any longer, I'm the kind of guy that probably be willing to do it. Like, all right, let's just make it reasonable. Try not to hang me out to dry. Let's give this kid realistically a good childhood. But like, it's funny when somebody else goes out there and does it.
You're still taking delight in this man being possibly screwed over in child support.
18 years, motherfucker. He's young. He's like 1.
I do want to object to the screwed over part.
We don't even know if this is true, any of this. That's the other thing.
But you don't come here for correct information.
No,
we've already established that they're broken up and he's getting dicked in child support.
You come here to play Fairway Solitude. That's what you come here to do.
Solitaire.
Fairway Solitaire.
You play solitaire in solitude. Yeah, that's, well... There you go. Wings, master of the English language.
Well, now that we've insulted a former guest and Woody's friend,
I insulted her a while ago. I'm surprised she still follows me on Twitter because she went around and did like the #1 no-no with the wings. She bought a foreign car.
That was gonna be something so awful. I was like,
I was prepared for her to have like jumped on you when you were down or something like that. Like, you know, Wings had a depression rant on Twitter and she jumped on. No, she bought a foreign car.
she bought.
What'd she get?
She got I think it was like a Hyundai Sonata. No, it was
Wait
SUV.
a minute. It just
Santa Fe.
occurred to me. My Toyota truck. I mean, while being built in California and more American made than your trucks, is better. So why would you like it? I don't know. I'm stuck on this.
Toyota doesn't mean better. It doesn't.
My truck is better than
Conclude
yours.
that it means better.
It's been established on Painkiller already many times.
Your truck sells like 1/10 of what everybody else's truck sells.
I recognize it's an elite truck.
I mean, like, of course, if there's more of a truck, you're going to have more of those trucks have problems because they're pieces of machinery.
Sure.
And you know, the way a truck performs is pretty much a dictate and result of the owner. There's a few things that can happen that with factory problems. The most mechanical issues are from owner neglect.
Mm-hmm.
Would you not agree?
That sounds right. But the sheer awesomeness that radiates from my truck is also from owner add-ons and such.
But I just don't like Korean products because to me they're proven death traps. Just for the same reason I don't buy Chrysler products. They've proven to have safety, flaws in them that will kill people.
Did you see that video of I don't know what it is, I'm going to make it up, like a 57 Chevy or like an old Bel Air doing a head-on with what I think was a Grand Prix?
You're like lagging for me.
Oh no, am I still lagging for you?
Yeah, it's really laggy for me as well.
It's not laggy for me.
Like almost impossibly to interact. So that's why I haven't said anything in a few seconds. I had a really hard time understanding Wings when he was talking about the truck
It's been
thing.
really laggy.
It's actually getting better now. I understand.
It is getting better now.
Okay, I fixed
Last thing I heard was Chevy and head on.
No problem, guys. Got it.
Did you? Okay, mic check. Am I laggy right now?
No, we're great. I fixed it.
Well done, Kyle.
No problem.
Did you see that video where the old Bel Air from the 50s or 60s did a head-on with a modern Grand Prix?
Mm-hmm.
It would have killed it.
What would have killed what?
It would have killed that modern Grand Prix, dude. Like the Grand Prix's got fiberglass quarter panels. It would just
False. It was really interesting to watch it, man. So they did a head-on collision offset, right? You're familiar with this. You've probably seen lots of videos of cars doing that before. And the Grand Prix, both of them were total losses. The Grand Prix total was in a way that looked really planned. The front crushed in, the engine did that whole crumple zone thing, and the passenger compartment was safe and protected, right? They might have had like a broken shin or something.
I looked at when I said killed it, I'm like the Bel Air probably climbed on top of the bitch because
it didn't. No, they smashed head on, and then on the Grand Prix, the motor crushed the passenger compartment. You know what an A-pillar is?
Yeah.
Yeah, the A-pillar completely bent backwards, and there was no place to live inside that cabin. I wonder if I can find the footage and show it for our people.
It's really good because everybody always thinks he's like, oh yeah, this old cars are made of steel, and you're like, wait a minute, no, they're made of sheet metal. Sheet metal. The difference is sheet metal. Like the plastic and the fiberglass on cars is in the place of sheet metal. That wasn't really going to protect you that much in that 60-mile-an-hour collision.
Yeah, but the newer cars, what it is the metal's designed to crumple and make that really ugly-looking sensation when you get hit, and it makes it look like it's a lot worse. But what it does is it's taking the energy and dispersing it instead of transferring it to the cab of the car.
Yeah, and there's a safe zone in the cabin generally that doesn't crumple in anymore.
But don't let that fool you. You can still hit something at a high enough rate of speed. You're fucked.
Oh no, you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Now, modern engineering, they got that shit locked down.
Yeah, but I had this whole
problem.
conversation with NASA. NASA one, he got into a bad car wreck about a year and a half ago, and his girlfriend, I don't know if she's his wife now, and she was pregnant at the time, and they both survived. And then he's like, I thank God for letting me out of it. I'm like, why don't you thank Honda engineers for allowing you and your family to walk on and live another day? Because that didn't happen by accident. That car was engineered to save your life in that situation.
So I had the cars wrong. It was actually a Malibu, and I just showed it to the people on PKA. But I drag it in front of the screen cap so my co-host can't see it, but I gave him a link now. Check out this video, man.
Oh man, there's an ad. Oh, dude.
it's
At least we know
lagging.
Lefty don't run ad block like a punk.
Nope, never have, never will.
I don't touch it either. I'm waiting on the link still.
Visually damaged. It's in the group chat on thing. I put it in there.
Oh, dude.
You see?
I haven't
right?
even got it. Where'd you
Wow.
get it?
Yeah, if you're in the Bel Air, you are fuck.
I still haven't got it.
Why wouldn't you have it? Are you looking in the group chat on the Google chat?
Yeah.
On the right there?
I'm looking
Yeah,
at it. The last thing I got was from Kyle at 240. There it goes.
Oops. Do you
Wow.
have it now?
I have it now, yeah.
Oh, interesting. There's some sort of...
Kind of sucks they ruined that 59 Bel Air, huh?
Yeah.
I can't seem to... I'm having issues.
The reason I thought the Bel Air would kill it was because they install these things called bumper stops on cars now. Like if you have an F-150 and you run into like a Kia Rio or something, the F-150 has a lower bumper underneath the bumper that actually hits before the actual bumper. So that's where the impact is. So it keeps it from climbing on top of the Kia Rio. Whereas
Hey,
the
look
Bel
at
Air
the,
wouldn't have it.
On the top, it says the worst crash test compilations of all time. It's gonna be so funny if you like see your car in here. Like they're showing like a Volkswagen Beetle.
I see a
and it's
Dodge
just
truck on the front of that
destroyed.
crash test compilation. That's
Wings,
pretty
did you
accurate.
see the video yet?
They've got a
looking at the
Volkswagen Beetle, a Golf, a Rabbit.
It's pretty cool, isn't it? You can see what they've done for modern
Dude,
cars.
that driver is done.
Right? For people who don't know anything about cars, the A pillar is the one that's on the front windshield. The next one is the B pillar. The next one is the C pillar, etc. They just name them like that. And but the A pillar is always that first one, the diagonal one that goes down the windshield. That thing completely bends back and just fully demonstrates how there's no room for the person to exist without getting killed.
And the ones on the Malibu, they're still intact. Both of them have safe.
On the Malibu, it's fine.
I mean, the worst thing that could happen to that Malibu is the engine break through the firewall. Even then, that might have messed your legs up.
Malibu is totaled. You know, there's airbags going off in there. Those things are crazy expensive. The whole thing is a wreck. But the person's okay inside.
I wonder what a head-on collision would look like.
Oh,
It wouldn't be as bad. The offset collision applies the force to a smaller area.
Right.
It's meant to be. It's driver to driver, basically.
Having said that, I bet the offset collision's more common.
Yeah, this one's more common because somebody might fall asleep and just go right into the other lane just a little bit.
Exactly. Or, you know, it's an unsuccessful dodge, you know, but you're halfway successful, so now it's offset. You know, you don't really see guys line up the headlights and crash into each other very often.
Like play a chicken.
Planned crash.
Like chicken, yeah.
Yeah.
They, I noticed on here they had the crash test from an ambulance. the guys in the cab are going to need an ambulance, and unfortunately, the one they're in is not going to be helpful.
You don't know, the back should still be good.
When I was
Dude,
a
it
kid,
fucked it up.
I used to, when I was a kid, all the movies from like the 50s and such had chicken. And not like Footloose, that movie, they played chicken in it. In Grease, they played chicken in it. And there were other
Rebel
movies
Without a
too.
Cause.
Rebel Without a Cause. I didn't see that as a kid, I don't think, but they played chicken in that, I hear. I really thought that when I drove and was in high school, chicken would play a much larger part in my life than it actually
Oh, this is a good Reddit meme. This is a good Reddit meme.
It is, right? But
As a child, I thought I'd be playing chicken more.
you know, it's and this album was my own though. The Reddit ones I've seen, like I really thought Quickstand would play a bigger role in my life than it did.
I know, right? Did you not? Like,
Yeah.
as a child, I thought, first of all, the Mythbusters pretty much disproved quicksand. So it's not
What do you
really
mean
even
by
a...
that.
They did a demonstration. They showed that, like, I don't know, it had the conditions had to be incredibly perfect for it. Like, they had to force quicksand to work.
I have stepped in quicksand personally.
How did that... Was it quicksand or was it mud?
It was quicksand.
Okay,
What I would consider quicksand. Let me tell the story.
please.
I have been surfing all day long, and the surf was unusually large, so I stayed out for an extra long time and I was exhausted. It's also notable that the water had washed up higher on the beach than it normally would because the wind was from the ocean, and it has that impact. If the wind comes from the land side, it'll push the ocean out. If the wind comes from the ocean side, it'll push it in, and the tide will be higher than it would have been otherwise. So I'm walking home with my surfboard under my arm on, I guess I'll call it wet sand, but up towards the top of the beach in an area that doesn't commonly get wet. And just sort of like groggy and tired, and headed on back to my house. And I stepped into what would be called quicksand, I guess. It looked like all the other sand in the area. It was probably only this big around, like I could hug the whole hole, and I fell chest deep. And I wasn't even sure like what the hell I was going to do. I don't remember if I could touch bottom at chest deep, but all of a sudden I was chest deep in quicksand, and my surfboard was under my arm. But it was like, now my surfboard is on the sand. So I just kind of climbed onto the board and walked away, and I was in no mood for that shit. I was like, whatever. Quicksand.
You ran into quicksand and you were like, fuck it, whatever, fuck it. Like,
Yeah.
I've heard about quicksand in
You
lore.
did something that no video game character has ever done. You climbed back out of the quicksand and continued on your way.
Yeah, that's exactly. I swear to God, the whole story is true.
And you were like, I want to figure out what just happened. You said, this is bullshit. I just want to go home.
Yeah.
I got time for this Looney Tunes bullshit.
Yeah, that's my quicksand story.
From my understanding, I thought that quicksand was, for one part, a special kind of sand. I thought that it was like large particle sand from like a river that had been polished into these round sand particles, and something about being in like Amazonian bogs.
I think quicksand is a sand-water combination that doesn't naturally happen. Like, for some reason, this sand has much more water in it than normal. Whereas normally sand gets packed kind of densely, and it can only get so wet, right? But this sand was almost like a loose suspension sand type thing. And that the difference between quicksand and regular sand is that for whatever reason, there's more water in it.
Yeah, I thought that there had to be a certain kind of sand to do that, to be suspended in that solution in that certain type of way. The Mythbusters did a cool thing on it one time. Like, they made a quicksand machine, and they put one of them in it. It was pretty cool.
What was it like? Did it create like an earthquake almost?
No, they it seems like they were forcing water into the sand, and they were changing the percentage of water to sand ratio.
That ties in with what I was saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you're totally right. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. My theory on why it happened on that beach was because it was sand that didn't commonly get wet. Like, you don't. For people who've never been to the ocean, like the water that the tide comes up to the same area almost all the time. That sand isn't quicksand; it's wet constantly. But because this was like this offshore,
it's different sand too. You're right. All right, so there are two very different kinds of sand at the beach, and the extremes are found at the opposite ends of the beach. So in the water, that's big particle sand because it's heavy enough to sit there, through the waves and everything, and just get pushed around a little. But at the top of the beach, that's windblown sand. That's the sand that's super fine particle sand, like you would see like flying in the air in a sandstorm or something. That's the stuff that the beach breeze has moved up there. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. If that fine particle sand got, inundated with water, making it into quicksand, that's science.
I'm just thinking of Kyle selling me sand. Like, this is fine, high quality.
Oh, absolutely.
This is the kind of sand that you want.
When you buy sand, it's like that. It's like, no. This right here is fine particulates. They sell you sand like that.
When I was a teenager in Ocean City, they had this beach restoration project. So the beach was eroding away, and it was making Ocean City a less attractive tourist destination because with the beach lower, the tide would come higher, and there wasn't even enough place for everyone to sit. Or if there was, they were packed too tight. So they got this big project where for every 3 years, they were going to restore the beach for 50 years. And I'm at like 16, like 50 is not divisible by 3, but no one else noticed. Anyway, remember there was this big argument where they were getting the sand from the inlet, and the sand particles were smaller. And some people argued that because the sand particles are smaller, they're going to get washed away quickly, just like the last sand. And some people were arguing that because the sand particles are smaller, they're going to pack tighter and get washed away less quickly. And I still don't know what the truth is.
Sand talk.
Sand talk.
The truth is proven by the sources of the two sands when they're found naturally. So that fine silty sand is at that inlet purely because it was washed away by the river. But the large particulate sand that makes up the head of the beach is sitting there despite the fact that waves are pounding on it day in and day out. So
I like your theory.
Yeah.
Kyle's like a geologist or some shit.
Amateur geology talk.
Painkiller already.
I normally let Wings helm these topics. But
Wings, are you busy playing Fairway Solitaire?
Yes, I am.
And you should be playing Fairway Solitaire too, available for your iPhone or iPad. Or
you should already be playing it this
can you beat our high scores? Probably.
Probably, yes.
Awesome. So how about that thing?
How long we been at
talk
this?
about
We've really been at this.
About 3 hours now.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
One of my recordings has frozen, and it says 1 hour and 22 minutes.
Well, I'm sure the other one's fine, though.
I really hope the other one's fine.
Because I got shit to do.
Yeah, I got the dates tonight.
As he brushes his beard. As he combs the beard. He's like a Bond supervillain with that beard now.
Well, you say this, but I still got a shower.
No, I wasn't saying anything about that. I was just saying that it was funny that you combed the beard.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get.
funny.
I just need to start holding ginger.
I have never grown my facial hair beyond, I think maybe 10 days. I don't know what happens. Can't be much, but it wouldn't be that. It certainly wouldn't be that. Maybe under my neck. It's pretty crazy under my neck.
I'm not going to be happy till I beat Harley.
You're not going to beat Harley because Harley has a mustache thing going on, and his comes up really high on his cheeks to the point where he looks like a Wookiee.
Yeah, but see, if I get it down to here somewhere, I consider that beating Harley.
Yeah, he can beat Harley. He just has to find his own method of beating him.
I think you just need to go onto Instagram real quick and look up Harley. He is mid giant beard right now. He is in his giant beard cycle again.
Really?
Yes.
You have me interested, that's for sure.
I would say he's been growing that beard for 4 months, easy.
Can you give me his name over?
Can
you type it out?
Yeah, let me open Instagram on my phone.
I don't know. It seems like to me he'd be one of those guys that would have to
He is Harley Plays on Instagram.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh my lord!
How to make a maple glazed bacon donut. Step 1, make bacon. Step 2, get a donut. Put bacon on your donut. How to make a maple glazed bacon.
I'm sure he wouldn't mind that.
He has an amazing beard.
It's the kind of beard that you might see, like in a Civil War painting, or like some great artist from 15th century Europe. Like this is like a Galileo beard. Okay, this is the kind of beard that a great man possesses normally, and for some reason Harley has it.
He's holding a Wookiee in this picture. Oh my god. Harley's Wings, you can beat Harley's beard. I'm just telling you, it's a Herculean task.
All right, look.
I'm pretty sure it's able. Humans are capable of doing something better than Harley here, but it's not very many. I don't think I fall under that list.
Yeah. No, see, there's a few problems with trying to compete with Harley's beard. For one thing, it's to the point right now where it's kind of growing together almost a little bit. It looks very dense. Yes. I mean, it looks.
Does he keep it trimmed up like this, or does he just not get length?
He must trim it. He must. I mean, it's all It's all
Well, he's Jewish, so it's going to be curly and pretty dense there. That's another thing. You can't beat this Jewish man. There's no way. Wings, you are way too Caucasian to compete with this man.
I mean,
this is a desert beard.
He just needs to find his own way. He needs to go Gimli on it or
something. There's Muslims that would envy this beard.
Well, I mean, the Jewish people are, a nomadic tribe of the Middle East. So this is a desert beard, my friend. This beard is meant to fin. You remember that scary ass sand I described earlier? This beard meant to combat it.
What if Wings' beard grows down to his nipples?
It would. I don't know, man. I'm just looking at the density around his mustache and like right under his bottom lip. It does some crazy stuff, and I just don't think he can compete. And his hair on top. I mean,
I shave a lot of this off.
Wings,
I don't remember what I used to look like.
Grow. I think if you connect the mustache in there, let's see what happens. And I know you're going to say it's a little patchy, but yeah, let it grow longer. The patches are patched.
he has one picture on his Instagram. I guess he looks just like this guy who actually is, but he's like horseback riding in Afghanistan. I'll hit you guys up when I'm back. And it's a picture of some guy that looks a lot like Harley horseback riding in Afghanistan.
Dave really does look a lot like him.
I don't know. My beard used to be pretty epic.
I'm sorry, man. You can't compete with this.
I'm not
beard.
gonna-
I know Harley's beard is
Harley Beard's got me beat. I mean, like, he could shave half of it off and still have more hair than me on his face.
It's a
It's
frighteningly.
thick. It's really thick.
Yeah, I've seen it shaved, and like, you know, when you've got like a 5 o'clock shadow thing going on, his is intense. His looks like sandpaper.
He's doomed to buy razors the rest of his life.
I don't think so. I think he's doomed to never really have to buy razors ever.
Wild card?
Yep.
Wild card.
Buy Fairway Solitude.
Oh, forgot the sponsor's name.
Wow. We are sorry, Fairway
Solitaire.
Solitaire.
Fairway Solitaire, the best game on iOS or the what's that thing on Android? Play Store.
Is it on Android?
It is on Android. I was playing it on
They
Android.
should actually advertise that.
Maybe they don't want us to.
Maybe it's not there, so only get the iPhone version.
Yeah, buy a new iPhone just for this game.